Clinic on East Main Street in Lincoln. By Untapped Territory on East Water Street in Lincoln. By Ronaldo Kia on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. By West End Sales, your Bobcat dealer on Highway 18 North in Vale. By Janice Peeler at Century 21 on East Main Street in Lincoln. By Hardee's on East Main Street in Lincoln. By BB's Salon on South Academy Street, Lincoln, and by Memory Lane on Old Highway 150 in Krause. So plan now to be there for this year's Lincoln County Apple Festival this Saturday, October 27th from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. in downtown Lincoln.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with Chris Jansen, who's nominated for 3 CMA awards.
I'd never been nominated for a CMA, first of all, and it's pretty awesome, and hopefully we'll be able to take a trophy home. But either way, I already feel like we won because getting nominated is a big deal.
That's Chris Jansen this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina.
Seed of a chosen breed, you don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good morning, Campers Inn Saturday Sports Talk. Kevin Hastings along with Carson Dockery, Texas Terry Reinhardt. Campers Inn of Kings Mountain, Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain is our sponsor as always this Saturday morning. JP's here, everybody. We can start the show. Terry, you got his biscuit in there and everything? Hold on.
Here, though,
let me
ready to work.
You ready to work? You've been holding biscuits for 20 minutes, haven't you?
That's it. Come on, Jay.
Just sitting around holding biscuit on a Saturday morning. Poor Terry. What you eating in there on this morning, Terry? We've got breakfast from Mitchum's Kitchen up in Vale. Terry, what you got to eat?
I had a sausage and egg biscuit.
Carson.
I have 2 gigantic pancakes and a piece of liver mush, and I'm very excited to eat this.
It sounds like it. Hunter is not here this morning. Notified us after the breakfast order, so there is a warm egg and cheese biscuit up for grabs this morning. Terry, I was going to eat two, but after eating that first one, I don't think I can make it anymore. That thing was very fulfilling, and I don't think it's going to happen.
And and here's and I hope Carson's listening, because this is your only chance to rag me about Washington beating Dallas. Next week it's too late.
Hunter's not even here.
That's it. Next week it's too late. You have an opportunity and you blew it.
So Terry, he did say, he said, I need you to tell me go Redskins for me. I'm like, Hunter, dude, you should be here.
That's it.
And so I did give him the phone number to call in if he wants to during the segment later on. If he's got a chance to this morning, so to have a talk with Terry about that.
We're not going to even talk to him.
And Carson, do you believe that Terry has the audacity to sit there and file that NC State stuff on this morning after last weekend?
At least he's committed.
He's committed.
He's committed.
That is the exact word for Terry Reinhardt, I think.
Yeah, committed.
Committed. Terry, he's proud of the skunking they took last week. Carson, there is a piece of napkin there in front of you.
I saw it when I walked in.
What does that say on it?
That's dated. That's dated.
What does it say on that napkin right there?
First off, it's dated November the 20th for some reason.
That's when they're supposed to play a rematch.
It says NC State 26, Clemson 24, but it's also on a napkin that's covered in a bunch of other things. It also says Cowboys 23, Redskins 17.
Oh, there's a lot of napkins in there.
There's
got weird, funny stuff written on it.
Napkin, yeah.
Were they signed?
No, but they're dated. But they're Terry. You know it's not November, right?
They're in Terry's handwriting.
We're having rematches.
Rematch. He wrote the rematch dates on them things. So Terry, so tough weekend for you, Tom as well. But nobody's football team won, but Carson's is that never loses. Carson's teams are combined like 18-0 right now, or 17-0.
Who did they play this week?
Who play? The Huss. Huss played Kramer.
Oh well, that's a beat down. Aaron Rodgers is going to come in there and light them up.
Terry. No. Listen, just because we can't listen, Aaron Donald has figured it out. You can't wrap him up. You literally just have to sling guys to the ground, and then you put your hands up and say, "Well, I didn't put my body weight on him." He did that. He did that to Kirk Cousins.
Is that the secret?
That's the secret. I mean, when you're worth $100 million in a defensive tackle, you better be good at it.
Yep. All right, you guys, let's give some high school scores. We'll get settled in and get to our first subjects real quick in just a few moments. JP's here. If you're watching live on YouTube, folks, if you're listening in Lincoln and listening in Cherryville and listening in the surrounding areas on the FMs and AMs here this Saturday morning, we're live 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Saturday morning. Campers in Saturday Sports Talk. And you can also watch on YouTube, and that also means you can watch on any tablet device anywhere in the world. You can watch the replay. If you do miss us, 8 a.m. If you can't get us live, you can watch it any time in the world. It stays on live. So this afternoon, you get ready for football or racing here on KTC. If you want to check us out again, watch us anytime on YouTube. We're live right now. We've got the JP cam up here in the corner. We've got the phone number right next to it if he falls asleep in here to wake him up. So just look at that number, give it a call, wake JP up. Or if you got a question for us, give us a call, 704-435-2844, 704-435-2846. JP will do his best to write it down maybe and figure it out and tell us who you are. There's a good chance we don't know who's calling. So, right, JP? I'm dogging on him because he's 7 minutes late. But anyway, he's ready to go. And you guys go with the scores.
All righty. Thursday night, it was Crest 63, Burns 14. The score at halftime was 63-7. And we come in here and we spoke on our pregame show about Crest could not score. And then they had like 63 points in the first half, so they proved us wrong. Yeah. But, great job from the guys. Burns, it's about like North Carolina State last week. Sometimes you never show up. And Burns did not show up, and an easy win for Crest, 63-14 over Burns. It was East Rutherford losing to Shelby 31-14, and another one of them teams in our area who's probably going to end up with only 2 losses, but going to finish third in their conference.
Well, that 14 points, Terry, that's easily the least amount of points they've scored this year, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It was Kings Mountain, No Trouble Forest View 55-16 to even that series up at 11-11. Cherville defeated Pine Lake Prep 45-6. Coach Pruitt got those young men going in the right direction.
And on the next board, close one over in Bessemer City. The Yellow Jackets come out on top 44-43 over the Community School of Davidson. Huss with no real problem with Kramer 31-7. And Terry, they just, I said this on the pregame show. I mean, if there was going to be a trap game, it was going to be this one. And Huss, they were up to it.
Yes, they was, and 79 points. Huss is one of the top teams defensive-wise around our area. As we look over to another score, the other team that was tied with them that only gave up 72 themselves gave up 16. So Huss, one of the best defenses around.
And then the next score, Hunter had a good weekend, or well, over the past about 5 or 6 days. Washington wins. Now Bandy's with a shutout 49-0 win over Lake Norman Charter. Highland and Union Academy, that one's being moved to Monday over in Monroe. And then Maiden with a squeaker over Newton Conover 43-40.
Maiden with a block field goal at the very end of the game to win that one. It was Ashbrook, a lot closer game than I thought, but Ashbrook comes out on top over at North Gaston 28-20. South Point, No Trouble with Chase 49-0. Thomas Jefferson, I believe I picked down. I let Shannon know all about that. But Thomas Jefferson defeats Mountain Island Charter 32-27. It was RS Central 21, East Gaston 6. What a tough year for East Gaston. Yeah. It was High Brighton, again, No Trouble with West Iredale 56-14. The new Max Preps rankings has them at number 8. That's a joke. Yeah. Fred T. Ford defeats East Burke 63-14.
And then on the last board, North Lincoln over Lincoln in 36-26. Coach Basil, they're setting up that conference championship game with the last game of the season with North Lincoln and Bandy's. West Lincoln shuts out East Lincoln 22-0. I mean, Terry, has that ever happened?
Yeah, the last time that West Lincoln beat down was back in 2004, 19-0.
Oof. That's another
13 straight losses. Another streak.
Yeah. So every time that West gives up a point to East, they lose.
That's about
is that the way to look at it?
But it's funny because you go back to 2004. Mike Bias was not at East Lincoln. He came in 2005.
He made a pretty big difference up there at East.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I think he did.
I'll give the last ones and I will get into a note. South Caldwell 44-20 over St. Stephen's. West Caldwell falls 56-6 to McDowell. Alexander Central's been pushed back. Highland Tech and Union County has been pushed back to Monday. Watauga 35-16 over Freedom, and Patton 39-0 over Bunker Hill. Go ahead, Jerry.
And that's what you should do right there, what they did. If you got an open date, move it back to that date that's open anyway now for everybody.
Yeah, now you're just not sitting around.
Now, you two guys in the pregame show, I heard you down the hall a second ago. What was you guys laughing about Shannon and Mountain Island Charter? Did he pick?
He picked Mountain Island Charter. I told him that.
What was the score?
Thought,
what was his score? Did he say? Or y'all go ahead. I do have a note about that game from a listener.
What was the game that he picked like 49-0? Was it Patton? Was it Bunker Hill over Patton?
It was Bunker Hill and Patton.
Did he pick the Bears?
He picked Bunker Hill, and I kept trying to tell him.
What did
that's
we say?
Better than that's 88 points.
But listen, what did we said that as soon as Shannon, are you sure you want to do this? The last time you picked 49-0, it went pretty sour. So he needs to stop picking that score. That's what it is.
I got a note from Shannon online also about the Mountain Island. This is during y'all's pregame show that I didn't get to get y'all in time, but Mountain Island built to go further in the playoffs than Thomas Jefferson ? LOL. There you go, Shannon. We'll see. I'll take being the likely number 1 seed and having home field over being whatever seed Mountain Island ends up being come playoff time. Mountain Island built to pound the football. No, they're built for Elijah to have long touchdowns, and TJ has 60 rushes for 356 against Mountain Island Charter. So, That was a comment from a Thomas Jefferson fan, apparently. There, Daniel Camp. Also this morning, I want to say hello to Joel Clemmer, who's online on YouTube watching now, Terry. He this morning. Don't know where. Yeah, he's somewhere in the world watching on YouTube. And like I said, you all can too. If you can't figure out YouTube, if you're not a YouTube expert or know anything about it, just go to ktcbroadcasting.com, follow the links. We've got all the links on there. You can also watch actually on there. And we've got a new page now set up, Terry, that we have all 4 Cleveland County teams and broadcast. You can go on that page and watch all 4 games at once. And Calvin sitting in there the other night watching all those. He had there's so many screens up, and then he had all 4 on that one screen. He switch monitoring those. With only 3 games Friday night, so he had the 4 screens because you could watch Burns or the Crest announcers. But anyway, was up there watching that, and then so that leads us to this Friday night. We've got some huge games on KTC broadcasting all across the board. And here, I'm going to tell you the least significant game, Terry, and see what you guys think about this. Oh. On the KTC Broadcasting Network, the least significant game, I think, next week might be Kings Mountain and Crest.
Wow.
Truly. I mean, I'm not going to say.
Do you know what other games we got?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. First of all, we've got South Point Shelby for first place, undefeated in the conference. Then, Carson, we've got Bandy's in North Lincoln, both undefeated.
That's a conference championship.
For the conference championship. We've got 2 conference championship games. Okay. So there's those. Then what else do we got on the docket, Terry? We've got the Battle of the Belt. So Kings Mountain Crest has been pushed back to last on the docket next week, I think, in importance of the games. What's the Battle of the Belt? That's Bessemer City Cherville, regular season action. Cherville took the belt in week 1 in the endowment game. Bessemer's coming back for some revenge, maybe try to get the belt back. But I don't know. Cherville's on fire right now. Jaden Blanton last night got mixed up. Got a little mixed up on the stats. Our radio guys got different from what the paper guys got. So I'm going to say what Richard's got, or the paper got, because it's more yards and more touchdowns. So I'm going to go with that. Richard had Blanton last night, 191 for 5 touchdowns. Milton and Danny had 187, 4 touchdowns. They could have easily missed one, you know. Milton was tired. He said he fell asleep twice driving down there, Carson.
Oh, that's a little.
That's what he said right now. He said, I fell asleep twice coming down here. And
Danny
said,
said,
you drove.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Danny said, wait a minute. I was sitting next to you. Didn't even know. But, yeah, they got all the way down there to Pine Lake Prep. Nice facilities down there on the AstroTurf there in Mooresville. And Cherville wins last night big time. So, real quick, like I said, let's go back over our games next week. Joking for you guys, I know. Don't give me a call, Joel and Dennis and Will about Crest Kings Mountain. So
y'all can give me a call.
Y'all can give Terry a call.
Well, he didn't have my number. Good. See?
Terry don't want to talk about NC State or Dallas next week. He wants to talk about anything other than those 2. He's going to waste so much time today. He's going to change subjects. Y'all get ready for the shenanigans.
I'm good.
Next week, we've got Bessemer and Cherville on WCSL 1590 AM with Danny and Milton. And we'll have Brent and Jeff and Noah Detleff, our cameraman. We'll have the Shelby and South Point game live video from Shelby High School. I want to thank David Allen and all the gang over there and Coach Ware and everybody for allowing us to do all that over there. Also, we've got Crest and Kings Mountain, like I said. Now, on that one, we'll have the Crest guys. We'll have the broadcast from Kings Mountain High School. So Tim and Robbie and Andy will have that from over there at Kings Mountain High School. Hunter's going to help out in that Bandy's North Lincoln game. He's going to try to be unbiased, but my goodness, I don't think it's going to. What do you think, Carson?
We are keeping him up in the box.
So for you North Lincoln, I don't know where we're going to have to put him. He's going to be in a cage. I might have to cage him up out there. I tell you what, let's drive the pink Cadillac up there, Terry.
He's going to have to become inside the press box
and lock Hunter in the Cadillac on the track. So he just,
I don't know. That'll be tough.
He'll probably have a Bandy shirt underneath his KTC shirt or something.
You better have something under. That's exactly.
Yeah.
We'll make you sit in the North Lincoln side of the stands. Actually, besides the North Lincoln folks to get their side of the story. So just in case he gets a little excited for the Trojans. Then we have on the docket Let's see. Who did I miss so far? We've got Cherryville, Shelby, Bandy's.
You got the Cherryville game.
Bandy's, Lincoln. Well, Cherryville and we just talked about it. I did mention them. I think I got them all there. So Bandy's in North Lincoln. That'll be Timmy Ken and Hunter will be up there at North Lincoln for that game. So we'll have some good times next Friday night. Carson, of course, will be here with Terry for the pregame show. Guys, it's the last week of the season. Whew.
It is.
Into football.
Blake, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's just how fast it goes. You don't realize it until you get here, and then you say, man. You know, but I mean, I'm going to be honest. That's how life goes. If you really look at life.
Oh, yeah.
When you're young, it takes forever to get to Christmas time. As you get older, that thing comes around real fast.
Exactly. Right. I'm sure the parents agree, too, with the children. Week 12 is next Friday night, November 2nd. Then we've got then they got a week off to the 16th will be the first round. Then the 23rd, 30th, and 7th will be the regionals, and the state championships will finish up 14th and 15th. You guys also mentioned that's Shrine Bowl weekend too, so you know that they won't. They said if you make it, that Steve Grease says hope you don't get to play in it if you make it because that. Yeah. Terry, and I do want to apologize. I'm a dodo. I don't have my list in front of me. That's why I don't have my game list next week. We got Burns and North Gaston next week to finish up the season. That should be pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
in that game, folks. You've got to see Keywan Pryor run the ball. If he gets any space, he's one of those guys. He's got to crease anything. He's out, and Terry, I don't know. Terry's digging into his pile of stats.
I'm just thinking because it's a big game for Burns. I mean, they still have an opportunity to make the playoffs. I mean, you know,
right.
Be in it. I mean, the one that Dennis went over had them in it. So,
was that the one? Where did they have them going? Do you remember the one that Dennis looked at had them on the road somewhere?
That would be 4 wins. I mean, you got to have 4 wins, and that's huge.
Yep. So big game for the Bulldogs next week. Now, Pryor, like I said, get out there and see Pryor how fast he is. I don't know how many exactly his yards. He'll throw up 150 yards rushing with no problem sometimes.
Yeah.
I did want to mention in just a few minutes. We got to take a break in just a second, but Blanton is actually approaching the school record.
It's got to be.
I don't know the exact number, Terry. I can't remember. We can't remember. It was 1,300 something. Last night in the first half, and on his first run, had 57 yards. He broke over the 1,000-yard mark. Finished with 190, so that puts him at 1,100 actually. So he ended up
feasible.
So he's at 11 something and 13 something. He's about 200 something. Oh, I keep saying something. We've actually got the stats somewhere, but I've lost the email down the hall, and I was trying to find it this morning to get the exact number. But yeah, and I'm gonna try to find it during the breaks also, maybe in my emails. But yeah, Blanton's got a good chance. I think it was 19 touchdowns now, and he's missed 2 games.
Yeah.
So racking them up for the Ironmen, and they roll in next week at home, which will be such a huge game, folks, next week against the Best City Yellow Jackets. All right, we got you got another comment.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we talk about him also, and Ethan Howard from Bandy's. I don't know how many he had Thursday, but he only like 434 going into Thursday, and they played late Norman Charter, so I guarantee you
put 49 up on him. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So he's probably had a good number
school record,
of breaking that school record. Chris Spade, you know. So
I don't know what happened to JP in there. He's looking for his marker board. He just yelled at it.
Coach Pruitt on the line.
Yeah, do you got him locked in and ready? Can I talk to him?
He's ready to go.
All right, Coach Pruitt. I think JP's got you ready to rock. And before we take a break, I'm glad we got you in here to talk a few minutes about this big win last night up in Mooresville. I bet the ride home was a lot quicker than the ride up there, wasn't it, Coach? Coach, you there? Coach Pruitt. Coach Pruitt.
He's on.
I know. I hear him in the background. Coach Pruitt, you there? Can he not hear us, JP? I don't know.
I don't know. He's on. I mean, I don't know.
All right,
he's holding.
You got us, Coach.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, there you go. Okay,
there we go.
All right, so Coach Pruitt on the phone. We were talking about Milton and Danny earlier. Milton said he fell asleep twice driving up to the game last night. And I was saying, I'm betting with the big win last night up in Mooresville that your ride home felt a lot quicker than the ride up there, right?
Wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a little quicker for sure. There was a lot less traffic, but.
Well, I was getting to the point that you guys were probably more excited.
When you get to Dewey Road, the traffic gets a little rough, but yeah. Yeah, it was a good ride home. It wasn't too bad. I thought the weather conditions were fine. Playing on that turf made a huge difference. If you're playing on real grass last night, like I guess East and West did, that would have been a little different.
Well, Coach, you guys put up a lot of points last night on the road. It sets you up this week for the Battle of the Belt. You guys took the belt back in week 1 from the Yellow Jackets. This is one of these rivalries that, and this is a real rivalry like, Terry talks about all the time, that the teams that actually win back and forth against each other, that they're really close to each other. I mean, every qualification of a rivalry, these two teams meet. You got cousins, all kinds of things. Former coaches on each other's staffs as well, Coach. So a big rivalry coming up this week. But first, let's talk a little bit last night's victory for you guys. You want to kind of go over how the game went from your perspective?
We just played a brand of football that we've been playing lately. Good defense. Defense scored. Pretty solid in the kicking game. Obviously, Dawson made all of his extra points and made a field goal. So that's big. And then offensively, we were probably more of a grinded-out style last night. First play of the game, we ran a little trickery, I guess would be the best way to call it. A little play we call Auburn Tigers that we saw them run. And Stidham overthrew it about 3 weeks ago, and Matt threw a pretty good ball. But I think with the wind and the mist and everything, Andrew got a little turned around, just didn't make the catch. And then next play, Jaden just took ISO and ran it 57 yards for a touchdown. So Mike could have held on to that play, but against certain teams, that's a good play. If they play a lot of man, they're going to run with you, and Pine Lake doesn't play that, so we felt like that play would work. But really, offensive line, except for a little lull in the first quarter, we really controlled the line of scrimmage on offense as well as defense. They come out, and defense, they run against us a few years ago, and it took us a little while to get adjusted to it, but once we did, we were in pretty good shape. Chapel Moss being able to be back in the backfield more, resting Luke Rayfield on offense and just letting him play defense is huge. And then Chapel got a few more touches last night, run the trap well. That's something we've been missing all year. We've probably been the worst trap team that we've had at Cherryville in a long time, and Chapel just makes that play go a lot better. And, of course, his blocking is very good. And Jaden, I think, scored 5 touchdowns in the first half. So we did some good things in that area. We got to brush up our passing game and get a little more consistent. I would say that would have been one of the strengths of our team in the middle of the season, and right now it's not. So we got to keep working toward that end and get ready for a Bessemer game that, both teams are playing good defense, but it's hard to believe that 17 points will win next week. So we got to do some things correctly in all phases to keep that going. How does that
match up? We talked about after that first game, there's going to be all kinds of things happen between now and then. You've got injuries and anything else. How you guys are playing? How does this match up? Totally different from week 1 matchup for you guys. You think?
Well, I mean, somebody told me the Max Prep's ranking, we're ranked 29 and they're ranked 30. So in terms of this week's matchup, it's huge just from the standpoint of you probably looking at the top, 32, 33 teams getting a home playoff game. Just depends on where you fall, big or little. I think for us, we're getting as healthy right now as we've been. Mark Gatson got back on the field last night. Chapel was carrying the ball. We had a couple of guys who were out this week from things at Highland Tech, and one who had an issue with migraine headaches. So if we can get all those guys, it is senior night. We also had one with an issue with a family member having an accident, and he missed a lot of practice time. So hopefully we want to honor those 22 seniors. And like I said, I think we're as healthy as we're going to be for this time of the year. They have done a great job. The first game, I'm showing my age. Their best lean back, number 24. I can't think of his name right now. I usually can quote those guys pretty good. But he got hurt in about the third play of the game, and that was a big play of the game. But they went through their year with, number 12 pretty much staying in the game all year, or number 5 staying in the game all year, number 12, number 4, and number 24. Corby and Hill is his name, by the way. It finally came to me. But those guys have stayed pretty healthy, and, of course, we've been working Bruce Gunner back into rehab, and supposedly he's going to get released on Monday with a knee brace and find out what he's going to be capable of as we go through our practice week. And, if Bruce don't play many plays on Friday night, guess what? We've got an open week before the playoffs, and hopefully have him about as healthy as he's been in a long time on November the 16th. You know, that's what we're playing for, that third season. And this game will position us in a good place and put us in a place where hopefully we win a playoff game and be practicing on Thanksgiving. That should be our goal every year. But once you get in the dance, anything can happen.
That's true, Coach. Coach, I have a question for you. I know we speak of Jaden a lot of times and all the touchdowns he's scoring and stuff like that. Name the guys that are up front, because you're just like me. There's nothing going to start in the running back or quarterback or wherever unless them guys are doing their job.
Okay, I'll go left to right. So, John Crane's our left tackle. He's a 3-year senior and, a college prospect guy. He's done a great job in the off season. We really challenge our guys to come and get workouts in, and John, he did a great job in that area, and it showed with his strength. Our left guard is Logan Ford, who's a junior. Logan is a kid who had to play both ways last night due to an injury, or a kid who had to miss practice due to a health issue. Logan's come a long way. Last year he was our extra tight end when we needed to rest Sean. He was a sophomore that we brought up to play some tight end and done a good job for us all year. Jace Britton's our center. Just a super intelligent guy, another guy who's probably going to play at the next level. When you say super intelligent, 4.4 GPA and ranked second in this class. So just proud of what Jace has done. Right, a few weeks ago we tried to tinker with moving Jace to tackle, but Jace has just been there at center for the last few years for us and just does a great job. And then on the right side, we got Trevor Andrews, who's another senior. He transferred to us last year from York. Last year he didn't play a whole lot because it took him a while to catch on to the offense. And this year, he's probably, in terms of our puller, and in our wing T style offense, we have to have a guy who can pull up in a hole or a guy who can trap, and he's probably the best at doing that. And then on the right side, it's been a musical chair all year at right tackle for us, to be honest with you. Last night, Clayton Crow stepped in and did some really good things. And then also, Clayton's young and needs to get a little stronger, and got off some blocks that we wish he would stay on just a little longer. And that's something that'll come with time. And I think he needs to have a great off season. And, we're going to be missing a lot of guys next year, but we got the makings of a group that can come back and give Jaden holes. And Jaden don't need a big old hole. He makes some holes for himself sometimes too. And then at tight end, we use 2 tight ends. Logan Barrett, who is a senior who hadn't played football before. He gets a lot of the reps. But we know when it comes time to really grind it out, we roll Sean Kostick in there. And, Sean's played guard for us. Last night on the way home, I thought, man, if we had to, Sean could play tackle. We play a little heavy set. He plays tackle in that. And then last night we used Austin Thompson, who's a JV kid. He's our JV quarterback. We had a really good end of the season. Just to put a plug in, our JVs won their last game Monday night, 44-0. So Austin stepped in. He's a very good athlete, good hands. We used him at wide receiver last year. So we got a good group of linemen who are getting the job done. I appreciate you asking about them, Terry.
Not a problem, Coach. They are a strong part of the team.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach. Well, you guys have a good week, and y'all have fun this week in the Battle of the Belt, and I know that's the least important thing. You guys stay healthy and get ready for the playoffs, and good luck. And I guess we'll talk to you next Saturday.
Hey, I appreciate it. We're going to take a few guys up to Catawba College today and go see Coach Weicker up there. So it'll be a good day to get to see some of the college atmosphere and get some guys a little exposure too. So y'all have a good one, okay?
All right, Coach. You have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Tim Pruitt. Didn't want to ask you about Appalachian State the other night.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
No App fan wants to talk about that. I'm going to tell you the truth, though.
It's been a quick week. They got ranked and got beat before we even got to talk about it.
As soon as we walked into school on Monday, Rick Mitchell walked in there, and he looked straight at me, and he says, "We're in trouble." And I said, "Why?" And he says, I said, "Man, you're ranked." And he goes, "That's the problem." That's what he said. Yeah. He says, "We're going on the road to Georgia Southern, tied for first, and now all of a sudden we rank to give them something extra to beat us by."
Yeah.
And then when your quarterback goes out, and then you have a linebacker go out.
Not only do you lose that in back-to-back road conference games, you lose Jalen Moore and then your quarterback. That's as tough as it gets.
And the only thing people are going to say, App didn't belong there, and it's just everybody's just getting hurt across the board. All right, JP, we'll be right back in a minute. We're going to do our college football scores and predictions. Terry, poor NC State.
I only missed one last week.
Here's Here's Ohio. Is that the one? Ohio State has been held below 4 yards per carry in each of the last 5 games. Surprising, since the Buckeyes have only been held below 4 yards a rush 6 times in the previous 5 years combined.
Tom, I told you the Big Ten was overrated.
Yeah, we'll be back in a minute. KTCBroadcasting.com.
When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
This is Evangelist Kim Earwood with Jesus Until the Whole World Hears Radio Ministry. Join us each Sunday morning from 8 to 8:30 a.m. for worship and the Word of God on 1390 and 1590 a.m., 101.5 FM, and ktcbroadcasting.com, and live on Facebook. Also, be sure and stay tuned from 8:30 to 9 o'clock on 1390 a.m., 101.5 FM, ktcbroadcasting.com, and live on Facebook for half hour of praise and worship with Jesus Until the whole world hears.
The summer sales event is underway at Elliott Supply Company in Polkville. Come see the new Husqvarna zero-turn mowers. Get 0% financing for 48 months. Well-qualified buyers may be eligible. And that's not all. See the Patriot zero-turn mower by Skag. Now sale priced at $6,099. Plus get 0% financing for 48 months. Don't miss the summer sales event at Elliott Supply Company, Highway 182 North in Polkville. Call 704-538-8661.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Welcome back inside Saturday Morning Sports Talk, brought to you by Campers Inn RV of Kings Mountain. Breakfast brought to you by Mitchum's Kitchen. I've already taken down both of those big pancakes.
They were good too.
I don't. They're just.
That's a meal.
That is, man. Like, honestly, on the way up here, I was kind of worried. I was like, you know what? I got these pancakes up here, but I don't know if I got enough room. And then I got halfway through that first one, and I was like, no, I got enough room for this. This is not going to be a problem.
So the good pancakes.
Yeah, oh boy.
So that was a pretty big pancake too.
Those pancakes are a good half-inch thick, just about. So, honestly.
All right, so I had to get some of my notes from down the hall. Terry working on some stuff here and there. Found your Cherryville Ironman rushing all-time stats for you folks that were on the edge of your seats for that. I know Will and Dennis listening out there, they can't wait for these stats. All-time rushing career, 1970. Now this is really surprising because one of the things about, I would say, Cherryville is that they've always had a pretty good back throughout the years at some point, if not two. Or some teams had three, and maybe that's why some of these numbers may be down. Gary's two younger twins, Jeremiah and Josh. Josh played more tight end. Jeremiah played the running back, he blew out his ACL that year that they tied the three-way tie with Mooresville. I think he was kind of a backup there, and linebackers and everything too. But anyway, here's some of the names. Tommy Summer, 1971 through 1973, is the career all-time rushing leader for Cherville Ironman, 2,500 yards. So 2,500 yards is the goal. Single season. So Jaden's like 1,100 something. So I don't know the exact number right now, but Gary Johnson, and that's no surprise to me whatsoever, 1398. He's the one that put Cherville up 6-0 on that 98 Shelby team, and then it just kind of went backwards from there. But he is the one that put them up. They led, right? They led, Terry. You know, how many people can say they led that team?
Right. The team that won championship a couple years ago, Shelby never trailed.
What if that was the only time they trailed that year?
Hey, that's right.
There's a
big against Cherville.
I think they lost a couple that year. They won that state championship, and so it couldn't have been that. But anyway, Gary Johnson is the single season all-time rushing leader, 1398. So Jaden's about 250 yards, maybe, around that. And Terry, does postseason does count to that,
yes,
right?
It does.
Okay, because I thought, remember we had an issue over at West a few years back where the all-time leading rusher just ended up 50, 60 yards short and missed a game in the playoffs. So,
as long as your season progresses, it's during this season.
So, hopefully, Blanton will have two more chances at about 250, 250 yards maybe.
And you're always going to have somebody say, well, that wasn't the 11-game season. Well, what about the guys who only played 10?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to go back different categories, different things. So you just go by single season rushing total.
I'm pretty sure they played 11 then, didn't they?
What's that? Yeah, that
Gary.
year they did. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I think West Lincoln switched over in 1990. I think it was 1994. They went from playing 10 in 93 to 11 in 1994.
So for you want to know how good Gary was, he was recruited. He went to Clemson.
Yeah.
To play running back.
All right.
That's just not just some random dude. Like if you saw him in person today, he's a walking muscle. Let me put it that way. Every muscle that a human body's supposed to have, he has it bulging. Like, it's bigger than whatever you have.
Can't put his arms down.
No, I saw him a couple years back at the beach, and actually is in the grocery store right across from where we were staying. And I was just walking around, and this huge, massive man was like right in front of me, and it was kind of short. And for some reason, that's what's weird about it because I know him. Kind of recognized the back of his head because he played Little League, and our hats and everything. And that's what I recognized. And I was like, kind of looked, and I was looking at his arms. I said, that might be Gary. And he turned around and I said, Gary, though, what's up, man? And he's just. He's wide as the whole aisle, and he runs like a 4.3.
Yeah.
So, thinking the Kalen Mack mode, but faster. Is kind of what I want to say about him. Stephen Corey, very shifty running back. He's got the single game rushing record against West Lincoln, 1994. 303 yards is the single game rushing record. You can get that anytime, Jaden. So you don't have to wait.
I mean, as many carries as he gets, yeah.
But 303 is the single game rushing record. Stephen Corey, he was fast, shifty. The Emmett Berry kind of style, where real left to right. Stephen kind of was. He had really good moves on that and really fast. The whole Corey bunch. The whole family could fly. Just put it that way. All right, let's do some Texas Terry Reinhardt NCAA football pick 'em here, Terry. So you missed one last week, right? Which one did you miss?
Only one.
Which one did you miss, Terry?
Well, I kind of went out on a limb. My heart took me out there, and I took North Carolina State. But, the biggest thing out of all of this, nobody's going to remember what happened in that game. They're going to remember Ohio State got thumped.
I told you he was going to try to change the subject really quick.
Yeah, you got out of that one.
They're going to remember that one.
Nobody's going to remember NC State.
That's right, because we was the lower seed anyway. All we did was help Clemson go from number 3 to number 2.
Terry,
that win.
Here's what's funny about this, about kind of what Terry's saying there, the NC State Clemson thing. And what's weird about college football, so NC State beats Clemson and keeps going. Everyone says Clemson's a good team. Put them in the national championship hunt. NC State beats Clemson. NC State is okay. Clemson's just not that good.
They had an
NC State
week.
probably shouldn't be in the fight. So, Terry, my question to you then is a win over NC State more valuable than a win over Clemson? According to that logic that I just said.
Well, it depends on how you did. I think with Clemson beating State so bad, that's what that's the difference.
That's what they look for.
They went from 3 to 2 in the poll on account of they beat them that bad. Because really, the committee sat in there and said, you know what, that State team's not a bad team, and they thumped them.
Yeah,
Carson, that was another one I do want to mention. They didn't miss the game per se, the pick. But can you go back to Thursday in the pregame show, and when they talked about the Crest and Burns game, Shannon and Terry? Do you remember what they said?
Chris.
Do you remember what they said?
It's about time.
We've got it on YouTube. You can pull it up and watch it. They both said that they didn't know if Crest could score on Burns.
Yeah,
but
after 63 in the first half, Carson.
This is why I don't make any picks. This is exactly why I don't make any picks.
But this is what I said on the postgame show. Burns won the second half, 7-0.
They did.
So
listen,
I mean,
it's little victories
in baseball. The first half champion used to play the second half champion. Yeah. So technically, right now they're 1-1 as far as I'm concerned.
All I gotta do is tell Chris you need to work on your backups.
They need to work. They need to work on their second half adjustments, don't they? Yeah, they got shut out 7-0.
Gave up a whole 7 points.
Second half adjustments, Terry. You got to make those when
great job. That was amazing. I mean, everything that you could think that could have went wrong for Burns did. Everything positive. I mean, guys, we don't see 63 points in a first half. We see a lot
in one half.
But we're talking 63. We see 40 something a lot maybe, but 63.
Speaking of 63, real quick, when we get back to NCAA picks, our cameraman over at Forest View the other night. So Forest View with 1 minute and like 45 seconds, Carson. They've been leading the whole game 9-7. Go down 16-9. They get the ball back with 1 minute 40. Terry, do you know what they did? They took a knee. Now, our cameraman looks at the coaches and go, you do know that they average 63 points a game about out here.
Yeah.
He even said the number 63. And the coach was like, maybe. We'll see. And then the third quarter opened up and he looked over and said, I think you're right.
Yeah.
So you be careful. So you got take your points when you can get them, basically. Kind of what I'm saying is that, you never know, especially when you're playing a high-powered offense when they can explode. Kobe Pace can score from anywhere on the field. He's one of those crease guys. You can, not only Kobe, if what's so dangerous, you can throw a swing pass to him, or you can just toss it up to him. And he's a sophomore, folks.
And it kind of makes you wonder, are we seeing games as the game is going along, we're making adjustments in? Because Kings Mountain has done this a few times.
Yeah.
They've been in a lot of close games at the start, then all of a sudden, boom, man, they can score 40 points real fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, guys, let's do our picks. So Terry missed NC State last week. So West Virginia beat Baylor this week, 58-14. Georgia Southern beats Appalachian, 34-14. Georgia Southern's not bad though. They're in the same conference. They're 7-1 and 4-0. So maybe they should be the ranked team.
Well,
right
see,
now.
Kevin in this one.
the only problem I had with that, I don't know if you saw this.
Where's
Kevin.
the picks from last week? Do you even know? Go ahead, Carson.
This past week, Georgia Southern was hyping this whole game up. There was apparently a little group of people that were saying essentially, go get your friends that go to Georgia, bring them down here, put some Georgia Southern gear on them, and that's how they wanted to pack out the stadium. People weren't going to show up for just a ranked opponent, I guess. They had to go and grab people from Athens and bring them down to Statesboro.
Well, I don't know why you'd want to pull for Georgia Southern anyway whatsoever. Anyway, boring offense, boring uniforms, just boring everything. Georgia Southern, they can go to you know where.
That's what they say about Georgia Tech. Y'all run the same stuff all the time.
They do.
So you score 70. Who cares?
You just app. You just that Georgia Tech, that Georgia Southern's just getting all the players that they can't get into Georgia Tech. And that was that's what everybody said at app. So how that goes, and the guys that couldn't start, so they'd transfer over and run the same offense. So just a bad week app. All right, Utah, number 23 at UCLA.
They played last night.
That was last night, Friday, October 8th. It don't say the score, does it?
I know. I did see that at
Maybe
the start.
they didn't play last night. I don't know. All right, let's skip on down here. Clemson at Florida State.
Clemson.
Oh, man.
Where is last week's picks?
They're somewhere. They're floating around.
Are
here
you taking Florida State?
Am I picking anything? I didn't know I was picking.
Yeah, you're in.
We got to go 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody break.
No, I'm not picking Florida State.
Oh, so you're gonna take Clemson?
Wisconsin at Northwestern, number 20, unranked Northwestern. I got you, JP.
I know where I'm going.
Well, we'll say it, Terry.
Northwestern.
I'm with you. I'm going Northwestern.
Yeah, Northwestern.
Upset.
Florida at Georgia, the tailgate.
Oh no, that's at Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville, Florida versus Georgia. In Jacksonville. I think Derek had 2 extra tickets for that. I don't know if he still does.
Derek Smith?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to text him, you still got a few hours. Better leave soon.
All right, I'll text Derek.
Wait a minute, Jacksonville. I was thinking Georgia. Yeah, you don't have time to get to Jacksonville.
No, yeah, I don't think I do.
I was so totally thinking Athens. You got time to get to Athens. You go to Athens and watch it in a bar for free.
Yeah, go to Athens and watch it at the stadium. Man. Florida's hot. Georgia. Terry, you pick first.
Georgia. Mine's already down.
Oh, man. I'll go Georgia then. Yeah.
Georgia is going to Georgia and choke like dogs again. Florida Gators. Kansas State at number 8, Oklahoma. Number 18, Iowa at number 17, Penn State.
I guess you took Oklahoma.
Oh, on what now? Yes, good Lord. 18, Iowa at 17, Penn State.
I'll give them Penn State just because they're at home.
Hawkeyes.
Damn, I wish it was playing in Iowa.
I'm picking Iowa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's yeah.
Penn State most overrated Ohio Big Ten team they are. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm taking Iowa. I think they're gonna go there and win.
Oh man,
I said that too.
Iowa.
South Florida at Houston, 7-6-1 here in the American Conference. Both teams 3-0.
South Florida.
Is South Florida still undefeated?
Yep, 7-0.
Yeah, I'll go South Florida. Houston doesn't have Tom Herman anymore.
They're 6-1 though, Carson.
They got a lot of Tom Herman players left.
South Florida to Houston is not exactly an easy flight. I'm going Houston.
Okay.
It ain't gonna matter. Jared Lorenzen and the Kentucky Wildcats at Missouri.
Lefty.
At Missouri. Wildcats all around, guys.
Yeah, UK.
True blue. Washington Huskies at California. And Washington's ranked number 15, 6-2 at California at 4-3.
Washington.
Yeah.
Huskies. Washington State, number 14 at number 24, Stanford.
I'm going Wazoo. Scored too many points.
I don't like picking against good Stanford teams at home, Terry. I agree with you on that. Texas A&M at Mississippi State, the battle of the maroon. This is the ugliest sight you'll ever see in a football game. Goodness, that's got a lot of.
I'm taking Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mississippi State. They're real good at home. All those cowbells.
Yeah. Since y'all both took Mississippi State, I'll take Texas A&M. NC State at Syracuse, Terry.
North Carolina State.
Oof, I don't know. Mo Neal trucked a referee. You saw that the other week, right?
Okay, so he run over a referee.
I'm just saying,
that's
man.
the only person that I mean, it's just lucky, man. A referee got in the way.
There was a lot of state players that ended up on their backs last week, Terry. They're playing against another orange team.
You want to talk about
in the dome?
Yeah,
Are y'all gonna have PTSD
our
out there? What's going on?
Overall record against Syracuse is 10-1.
Okay. Mo Neal don't care about that.
I'll go State, but not by a lot. Not by a lot.
Syracuse is 5-2.
The only win that Syracuse had was back in 2013. Is the only win they've had.
We got 5 this year.
Yeah.
So, and y'all got 5.
So
y'all
we'll
played a
have
good
6.
team and got stomped into the ground. NC State's favored by 2 on the
It'll
road.
be tough. It'll be tough.
I'm definitely going to go with the orange on this one. Then the 2 points is close enough for me to
They
take.
got the over/under at 66. Good.
Yeah, I know. So Syracuse not going to be able to stop anybody anyway. It's just Syracuse scored.
Yeah, I think they can.
Notre Dame, number 3 at Navy.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame's favored by 24.
That's about right. I mean,
you take the Navy.
You know, I always take the midshipmen when they play Army, so I'll take Notre Dame today.
All right.
Texas, number 6 at Oklahoma State, the Cowboys.
Oh, that's scary. On the road.
A lot of orange out there today.
I'm gonna take Texas. I don't know how they're number 6, but I'm gonna take Texas.
I'm gonna go upset Oklahoma State.
I am too. At some point, Texas got to get beat and then fall again.
It'll be like Texas Tech.
Number 19, Oregon. At number nothing, Arizona 3-5.
Oregon. Remember at the beginning of the season, everybody was so hyped up about Khalil Tate. He's going to win the Heisman. He had all those crazy rushing numbers last year. Where did he go? I mean, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated before the season started.
Cheapest tickets today. I see a $2 Duke
$2.
at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, boy.
There you go.
That's
Blue
a
Devil
big game
football
there for $2.
You get in at Duke at Pittsburgh for $2 a day. Tulane at Tulsa's $3.
Because it's in Heinz Field.
I mean,
the whole upper bowl's going to be empty.
Pittsburgh usually plays Duke very tough.
Yeah, well, that's always a good matchup. It seems like.
Trying to find there's some $4 in here. Army Eastern Michigan, Purdue Michigan State $6.
Wake Forest Louisville $3.
Wake Forest Louisville. You can get $20. Clemson at Florida State for $20. That's crazy.
Who would have thought? Yeah, you say that 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even got a ticket to that game.
130 Florida Georgia is the highest I see so far. That's going to be it.
Florida State.
It looks like nobody wants to go to the games this weekend because it's cold. Apparently, because all of these numbers are down. There's only one game I see over $100, and it's Florida and Georgia and Jacksonville.
And that one's not going to be cold.
All right,
Jay. I want to mention one other thing. You speaking of how cold it is. You know, yesterday we were colder than places in Canada.
Yeah. I mean, what happened, Terry? I feel like we were supposed to go. You know,
if you believe the Earth is flat, then that wouldn't matter to you.
Well, that's right.
Well, see,
that's what people say.
We went from 80 degrees in October just straight to 50. There was I like my little in between.
I know.
I want it to
Where's
be like
my fall time?
65 and a little breezy. And no, it just got cold.
I mean, you thinking about, hey, in the fall time I'll be able to sit outside, relax a little bit. But now you have to carry coats and blankets and
can't just go sit outside.
So a couple of food for thoughts before we take our break. JP, you ready? I got you a Star Wars note ready. You ready?
No.
Sit up. Sit up. Here's your Star Wars note of the day. Last night's World Series game took 7 hours and 5 minutes. The first 3 Star Wars, not the originals, but episodes 1, 2, and 3.
The second trilogy.
So how many minutes is 7 hours?
420. Nice.
The second trilogy is 4 hours and 50 minutes.
The second trilogy is about 7 hours when you
300.
add in episode 3 because it's so long.
415 minutes.
It's almost 7 hours, not quite.
So you can watch the first. You can watch the episode. You could have watched either
either
trilogy last night. The original trilogy is actually about 15 to 20 minutes shorter than the 1, 2, and 3. So you could have watched either Star Wars trilogy last night during one World Series game.
What time did it end? I know. I mean, it started in
7
LA.
hours past whenever.
I mean, and it started in
3 o'clock
LA.
this morning?
It had to have been.
I turned it off, guys. It got 15, and I thought, well, this is Friday night. I can go to bed early tonight. We're not working.
Nope.
And I said, I'm turning it off. It was 15 after 11, and they were going. It was in the top of the 9th. So think about it. I still had 9 more innings to go if I wanted to set up
you
and
had
watch
a whole
it.
other game, Terry.
Yes.
All right, Terry, I got a ruling for you. I want you to think about it during the break. And we got some trivia questions stuff here to do in a minute, too. Before we go to break, I got a ruling for you. Ain't a Little League, officially a Little League game, but a kids' baseball game the other day. Mm-hmm. Okay. This team has not won a game all season. It's the last game of the season. After 5 innings complete, they've already winning after 5.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the 6th, get a couple more runs, get some insurance runs. Okay. So you go into the bottom of the 6th, it starts pouring and raining and raining and pouring. Have to call the game at where it is, Terry. What is your ruling on what to do about the game if you were the umpire and running that league?
We'll talk to it when we come back.
All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Hi, I'm Paul Urey. I'm a candidate running for Lincolnton City Council on November the 6th. While on the council, I will work with the community to continue to strengthen our city to create sustained growth for generations to come. I'm Paul Urey, running for Lincolnton City Council, paid for by the committee to elect Paul Urey.
Say, kids, what time is it? This is the 60s.
Hey, JJ Wilson here, reminding you to tune in this weekend for This is the 60s, featuring the best music from the best decade and so much more. There's 60s television, movies, news, pop culture, trivia, novelty songs, interviews, deep cuts, and a whole lot more. It's peace, love, and rock and roll on This is the 60s.
This is the 60s, Friday mornings from 10 a.m. till 12 noon on The Boss, WHS, AM and FM in Shelby, WLON in Lincoln.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th, presented by Pepsi. Endless entertainments.
Jousting night. Men in tights. My.
New sea ferries. The Living Mermaids. Magic and merriment.
Come to the Renaissance Festival.
Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th. There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, and a feast all rolled into a non-stop great family adventure.
The festival is so awesome.
Discount tickets at Hedis Tita stores or print your own online at renfestinfo.com. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
Get a free pumpkin at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. What did I say? That's right. Get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st when you take a test drive at Renato Auto Mall. Test drive a Honda, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Kia, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a GMC, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Buick, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a pre-owned vehicle and get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st only at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com. And happy Halloween from Renato Auto Mall.
For 9 straight years, Ewing Insurance Agency in Gastonia has been voted the #1 insurance agency in the county. There's got to be a reason why. Ewing Insurance Agency features over 75 years of combined experience. Whether you're looking for a review of your auto or homeowner's insurance or seeking a customized business insurance package, the team at Ewing Insurance Agency is ready to tailor a plan that's right for you. Drop by their office at 1548 Union Road, Suite C in Gastonia. Visit their website at insuregaston.com. That's Ewing Insurance Agency.
Don't miss the Golf Shop Radio Show broadcast every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Dr. John L. Cloninger III of Lincoln will brighten your smiles with professional cosmetic dentistry and smile enhancement procedures for everyone. Even Duke fans will smile at the work of this Tar Heel. The office of Dr. John L. Cloninger III is located at 904 Doncha Drive. For an appointment, call 704-735-0765. That's 704-735-0765. And John III says best wishes to all high school athletes.
Maybe a punctuation mark on a career night. Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th, presented by Pepsi. Endless entertainments.
Jousting night. Men in tights. My.
New sea ferries. The Living Mermaids. Magic and merriment.
Come to the Renaissance Festival.
Saturdays and Sundays, September 29th through November 18th. There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, and a feast all rolled into a non-stop great family adventure.
The festival is so awesome.
Discount tickets at Hedis Tita stores or print your own online at renfestinfo.com. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
Isolated and alone?
That's how millions of Americans feel while experiencing a mental health crisis.
Need to talk? Our providers love to listen.
Call us now at 1-888-235-HOPE.
That's 1-888-235-4673.
Partners, improving lives and strengthening communities in North Carolina. 1-888-235-HOPE. 235-4673.
Is the cost of ink driving your profits down? Then listen up. Discount Ink Jet and Toner is here to help. Discount Ink Jet and Toner specializes in refilling ink jet and toner cartridges. Cut your ink costs by as much as 50% or more. Discount Ink Jet and Toner, located on 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
The money you save in your savings accounts earns interest, so it just makes sense to have your checking account also earn interest for you. A money market checking account pays interest and also offers the flexibility of writing checks. Certain fees may apply. Carolina Trust Bank, member FDIC. Community-minded just like you.
Just like you. Visit your nearest Carolina Trust Bank with 2 offices in Lincoln, also in Gastonia, Denver, Forest City, Hickory, Lake Lure, Vale, and Mooresville. Get a free pumpkin at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. What did I say? That's right. Get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st when you take a test drive at Renato Auto Mall. Test drive a Honda, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Kia, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a GMC, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Buick, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a pre-owned vehicle and get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st only at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com. And happy Halloween from Renato Auto Mall.
You put the toboggan over the
No,
headphones.
you can hide the
I guess
headphones.
you could. You know what? I need to get a camera down the hall just to watch me run up down the hall during these shows.
What we need is a camera with a timer on it and a start and a finish line.
See if I can beat my times.
And we'll keep time. we'll have an average. We'll have a median. We'll have a best and a worst.
Well, we're going to put every employee on it too. So if you're coming down the hall, the first thing you got to do is clock you 40. We've measured it's exactly 40 yards too, Carson, from the edge of this corner down to the wall. If you start on that end, you'll have a few feet to slow down and not.
Yeah, you got breakdown room. Man.
Yeah, here, so you could actually do it. I read you a question. This is the most ironic, craziest thing ever. Irony. How that works. And the odds of this happening is just astronomical, I would say. But
it's one in however many.
Well, this is 1/4 of the cards down the hall. That is even made. It even got better than that, Carson.
All right. Yeah. Okay. This is
so. Ask a question about it kind of a rain out. The team, the visiting team was winning. After 5 innings, they were winning. And it rains it out there in the 6th inning, Terry. And I ask you, what do you do? And I'll let you give your ruling, and I'm going to tell you about this magical card that I just had.
I mean, our ruling would be, at that time, the game is finished, but we would go back to the previous inning at the end of that inning and saw who was ahead, for the simple reason because I could not put kids back on the field and play the game, because if one of them got hurt, then that comes back on me. I mean, that's how I would look at it, and that's what I would get the coaches together and we would discuss. But before I said this is the game, it'd be pretty simple.
So that was my scenario, and this happened in my nephew's league the other day. I just wanted to kind of ask that. What I was getting at, what's amazing is the other day, Dad brought in this game, Milton brought in this game from the antique store, folks. See Memory Lane Antiques here in Krause, called Rules of the Game. And there's a stack of about 200 cards here. And each card has 4 questions on it. And, guys, I swear I'm not making this up. They just saw me walk down here and turn this card over. The first question in the card that I read. Now, if someone didn't pick this out for me, guys, here's the question. Home team is leading 3-0 with visitors hitting in the top of the 7th when a light failure halts the game. While the lights are being fixed, a thunderstorm makes the field unplayable. Is this a complete game or a suspended game? Pretty much almost the exact same scenario I just asked about. And their ruling was this is a complete game with the home team winning 3-0 going back to the last inning, just like Terry said. Now, let me tell you what happened, Terry, and we talked about it during the break because we had a long break. They already know. I guess I'm going to tell America what happened. They ruled to play the whole game over. Not go back to the last inning, let's play the 6th inning and come back like a different day. They ruled to play the whole game over. And the thing about it was the team that was winning hadn't won a game the whole season. This is going to be their only win. They're about to celebrate, have a good time, eat cake and ice cream. They'd already had the cake and ice cream. There was the last game of the season. They weren't even going to make the playoffs, Terry.
Because it was
this other team, Coach Pitch, this other team who's going to the playoffs was worried about their seeding and pitched a hissy fit, and the league agreed with the hissy fit coach to take away the team that hadn't won a game's win.
That's just my opinion.
I just throw my hands up for anyone watching on YouTube.
It really just comes down to one thing. It's coach pitch. None of this matters.
It's fall ball.
It's fall ball coach pitch.
You're not playing for a national title. You're not going to.
You're not
playing
district. For anything.
And I bet Terry, as an umpire, will kind of agree with this kind of too. What you're leaning to that about some of the things you're saying about how serious you need to take it is. Terry, also, how do you feel? You're out there umpiring this stuff on let's say a Saturday morning or whenever it is, and then you got someone there's the only people that are watching the game are it's parents, right? So then you got one parent standing right at first base yelling at you about every call you make.
Oh, I've had that.
Is that not just the dumbest?
I've had,
and you just want to walk over and be like, do you not have nothing better? Tell your son how to swing. He just struck out twice. Don't fuss at me.
I referee upward games, and I've had deacons
and upwards. Yeah,
I've had deacons been behind me and say stuff, and all you can do is turn around. What do you want me to do? This is upward. We are in a church gym right now. If it's that serious, go take your child, go play AAU, and he can go sit the bench.
I have had coaches, and I'm gonna give you two scenarios. I have had coaches that come up to me when they're getting beat 21-1 or 2. Okay,
in baseball.
Yeah. And come to softball too.
Yeah.
Come to me and tell me I'm the worst umpire they ever saw. I'm like, you're getting beat 21-2.
That's when you say
I'm the worst umpire that you've ever saw.
I love that when you can always say, "Well, you're right, coach. I may be, but your team's already made 14 outs."
Yeah, there's the big deal.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? I didn't make any of those outs.
The biggest
I didn't give up any home runs. I didn't throw any bombs.
And Tom would tell you this is when somebody comes up and says, "That's the worst call," and the game's over with that I have ever seen, and I said, "Okay, so I missed one." Y'all had 21 outs. So somewhere along the line, you did not do what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Or we'd have never got out of the first inning.
All right, I got some fun questions for you. This game, like I said, is called Rules of the Game. We're going to use them here on KTC for so. Now, what's funny about this is it's from 1995, so some of these rules could have easily changed. So if I read a rule and you guys are like, I don't think that's right, that's fine. This is for fun.
It's antiquated
rules. All right, I'm going to read a couple here for Terry and Carson to guess that before our next break. What in the world was that?
I think it was a rooster disguised as JP.
Was that JP in there? All right. John jumps to this. All right, basketball.
He's still not done.
This JP cam is going to be golden today.
Basketball. If you're watching the online, you see JP calling, interrupting whatever he's doing.
Like
he has no idea we're talking about him right now. See folks watching online. He's just sitting there having a good time. Hey, JP. How are you? Look, you don't know. All right, Terry. Basketball.
Okay.
I'm reading the question. John jumps to throw the ball. This is basketball. But the opposing player prevents him from playing both hands on the ball. They both return to the floor holding the ball. Is this a traveling violation on John? Or is it a held ball?
Read that to me one more time.
Yeah, read that.
John jumps to throw a pass, but the opposing player stops him from throwing the pass by placing both hands on the ball. So 3 hands are on the ball, and they both land on the floor at the same time. Is this traveling violation on John, or is it a held ball?
It's a travel, wouldn't it be? Because, I mean, if there's 3 hands,
you're in the air making a pass,
yeah,
and then both hands get on the ball, and then you both land is basically the call. Traveling or held ball? Quick, I got 2 more questions.
I go travel.
I'm gonna go Well, I mean,
I'm gonna go travel. Just because I want to hear the answer.
Terry, you're the referee. What are you waiting?
I know.
I just referee small.
Somebody asked this Terry next
It's a point. A lot of times I can't stand stuff because sometimes when it's give to you, you're like, well, I would like to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of what happened. I'm going to go.
LeBron dribbles to the corners, gets scared to take a shot. He jumps up in the air to pass it to Kyle Korver in the corner.
Same thing as blocking a shot. I mean, if you're going in to score and he puts his hand on the ball.
Does the ball ever leave?
No, it doesn't.
No. Then that would be my thing. If it's still in your hand, you still have possession. It never leaves your hand. You go up, you go down. That's got to be up and down, right?
I didn't think this was going to be the stumper, but all right, it's a held ball, jump ball. Baseball. John is a right-handed player. We're going to do all of these for JP.
Right-handed.
JP is right-handed. His ball rolls up against. No, this is golf. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong logo. Looking at the wrong logo. John is a right-handed player. His ball rolls up against the side of a tree. To hit the ball, he may have to play a left-handed stroke with the back of the club. Is this allowed?
I have no
in
idea.
golf. No, that's funny because I do not know
I don't
all
know.
the technical stuff about
Yeah,
golf.
I mean,
sometimes hitting it on the backside, I'm gonna say
Basically hitting it off the backside of the club.
the back. I'm
Is
gonna
that
say
legal?
it's not. I'm gonna say it's not. I might be wrong.
Carson, got a guess? Yes or no?
I'll say it's legal.
Yes, John may use any part of the
yeah.
head
Okay, that's
of the,
good.
of the head of the club. You can't pull cue it out
Okay.
there.
Yeah,
But
that's
you can
good.
use
That
any
makes
part of the
sense.
head.
I learned something there.
There
College
you go.
football. Last question of this trivia question. This is John again.
John
He's an
does it
athlete.
again.
John, man, he's everywhere.
John's team is 4th and 10 at the 40-yard line, and they attempt a field goal. A defensive player who is standing in the end zone in front of the goalpost jumps up, blocks the field goal above the crossbar. He then falls on the ball in the end zone. What is the ruling? So Yao Ming or Shaq basically blocks a field goal at
On
the
the
goalpost,
backside.
Yeah, like
and the ball falls
this is
in
the
the end
goalpost.
zone, and he falls on top of it.
touchback.
Not behind it. You're in bounds. You
Okay,
just jump
you're
up and block
in
the field
front of
goal. Yeah, but you're not blocking it from the line of scrimmage. You're just Yao Minging it from the goalpost.
A touchback.
That's a touchback. I mean, that's pretty simple.
It is a safety.
Oh,
The player
Well,
has
as long as it
committed
stays
an
inside.
illegal act in the end zone by batting a field goal
As long
attempt.
as it's inside.
He scored 2 points for John's team.
Yeah.
So the kicking team gets 2 points.
huh?
You didn't hear. You wouldn't pay attention to what the answer
No,
was.
I did not.
It is an illegal act to bat the field goal attempt in the end zone.
So once it crosses the
He could
plane,
block
of
it from the
He
goal
can
line,
jump 20
apparently.
foot high. He cannot touch it once
Yeah.
it's in there.
Once it's
Now this is 1995 rule, and don't give us a call if that's changed or if that's not.
Well, I don't think there's been a play that would affect that rule.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
Well,
I haven't seen it.
Now,
anyway.
I've always thought that somebody should hire Shaq or Yao Ming. Not even on that end. Think about Yao was 350 pounds. What about him pushing on that guard at 7 foot tall and reaching up?
Well,
How many blocked field goals will that happen?
the only thing about that would be leverage. He's so tall. It's almost
That's
it would,
true.
it would probably
And
be
you
hard to
would
get
have
low.
had-
Now Shaq's an athlete. He could pull it off, man.
Well,
Yeah.
Shaq is also a little wider than you.
No, well, Shaq's younger years. Though, I'm talking. If you think about if you'd
No,
put him at
but,
defensive,
but I mean,
end.
younger years aside. I mean,
Yeah.
he was just a bigger human being.
I just think you need to get a better kicker where he can get it up.
Who's bigger, human? Who's bigger, human? Who's bigger, human? Yao or Shaq? Yao's by far bigger than Shaq. Have you ever seen the pictures of him?
I mean,
he makes Shaq look like Muggsy Bogues.
yeah, well, height wise, yeah, but I mean,
I'll pull it up in a minute.
I'm
for
talking
fun.
about bulk.
Yeah, Shaq is proportionally
So,
wider.
Okay, now let's do the baseball. Well, we've got a few minutes. We'll get back to it. This will we all started getting into that.
Yeah.
So last night's marathon makes it 2-1. Good for baseball fans that you have kind of a series, maybe hopefully. Is this
Not a series until the
someone
away team
loses.
wins.
Right.
Yeah.
And the home team barely won last night, 3-2 in 18 innings off a
But they won.
Kirk Gibson-esque home run, I guess.
He was on both legs.
Yeah, well, that. But World Series home run winning, I'll go with that. 3-2 over the Red Sox. Carson, can the Dodgers pull it off?
I mean, they've got the talent. I mean, they're the big difference. I mean, you look at they've got a 16-game differential, 108 wins for the Red Sox, 92 for the Dodgers. But I mean, you've got a lot of talent on this Dodgers team. Obviously, Max Muncy is a guy who hit the walk-off last night. You still have Cody Bellinger, who was the NLCS MVP and didn't even play in the first 2 games of the World Series. I mean, I know you want to play matchups, but at a certain point, like, as much as I like analytics and numbers and all that stuff, it's the World Series. Like, that stuff doesn't matter nearly as much right now. It's a lot more about feel and who's hot and that kind of thing. The thing that got me last night, Terry, we were talking about it. Both teams used 9 pitchers, 18 combined pitchers, and that's half the reason that this game went 7.5 hours just about. I mean, you only score 5 runs in a game that goes 18 innings in 7 hours. It's because just about every inning you're getting a new pitcher. I mean, the shortest. I mean, and we were talking about it, Terry. Ryan Madsen. I mean, he's just absolutely just airmailing everything that he throws because he's got it out to the side of his ear where you're staring at the seams.
I would love to see him because I was even told Carson I would destroy him. He's letting you see the ball so early in his release. But anyway, 18 pitchers, that's amazing.
The fact that you have enough arms just to be able to do that.
But does not having a DH hurt Boston? It does.
A little bit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I mean, you have taken a player because all of a sudden you're held to 2. They've scored more than 2 when they was at Boston.
Well, Alex Cora has basically, like, everybody thought that they might move Mookie Betts to second and to keep all this stuff, but they're just taking Jackie Bradley Jr. out of the lineup, moving Betts to center field, and put J.D. Martinez in right. I mean, that works, but Jackie Bradley Jr. has been getting big hits. That's the reason you took him out in the first place, because Mookie Betts has a better bat. He's just about as good defensively, but I mean, Jackie Bradley Jr. he's had big hits all throughout this postseason. So, I mean, it's tough. Who do you take out? Jackie Bradley Jr., who's been on fire, or you've got 2 MVP candidates and Mookie Betts and J.D. Martinez. You're going to have to sit one of them, or move Mookie Betts to a position that he hasn't really played full time since he was 19 or 20 years old. He came up as a second baseman, and they shifted him to an outfielder.
But there you go. There's where you go into a National League park, changes everything that you're thinking.
Yep.
Because you've not had to do this all year long, and here's the first chance, and this did not work out for you.
Yeah.
So
how Boston is this that they beat the Yankees and now they're trying to beat LA?
Well, they beat the best 2 other teams. I mean, they beat
high market teams.
They beat 200 win teams to get here.
Yeah, they did.
Already, they beat the Yankees and they beat the Astros. They beat the 2 best other teams. I mean, they beat
this one
to get to this, and they won 108 games. I mean, you know, you think about the last time you had a team this good, really, in the regular season was what, like the 2001 Mariners when they won 116 games, and then they were out in the divisional round. This is a really, really good team. I mean, I know they lose 3-2, but it takes 18 innings. I mean, the Red Sox. I mean, this might be the best Red Sox team ever. Really, if you think about it. If you think about it, I mean, postseason and regular season combined.
Well, you know, some of the other ones, they were steroid infused, so you know,
or beer infused.
Look at that. Real quick, Carson, the American League playoff teams were who?
Well, in the wild card, it was Yankees, A's. You had Boston, Houston, and Cleveland.
So just looking, I'm trying to pull up. You know, Terry, you kind of just mentioned it there a second. The big markets. Houston's the 3rd biggest city in the nation.
Yeah.
LA's 2nd. New York's 1. There's all of those cities. Their teams made the playoffs. New York 1. Los Angeles 2.
But also talking about money.
Did a team from Chicago make the playoffs?
Well,
Did a team from Houston make the playoffs? Yeah. So the top 4 cities in America, all their teams made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So just to give you an idea, you know, the money is it's not. You have to understand when you say, you know, it's not just a little bit in New York. They have 8 times or 9 times as many people as a lot of these cities. So you're saying, you know, they got 2 teams. Well, there's still okay, 7 times more people that can pull for your team.
Well, Boston. I mean, the Red Sox. They've got a whole region.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, and
anything above the New York border, basically.
Yeah, really
is Red Sox country. So.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll be back in a few minutes. We got to talk NFL action. I got some more notes for Will and my friends, Terry. That they'll love. We got a couple more trivia questions. We got this week's top 20. It's down to 25 teams left in my power poll. We'll be back in just a few. JP, better not say we'll be back in a few minutes if he ain't paying attention. Hey, there he is. Cut out. Hey, kid, ready for a break? All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. KTC Broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Paul Urey. I'm a candidate running for Lincoln City Council on November the 6th. While on the council, I will work with the community to continue to strengthen our city to create sustained growth for generations to come. I'm Paul Urey, running for Lincoln City Council, paid for by the committee to elect Paul Urey.
Say, kids, what time is it?
This is the 60s.
Hey, JJ Wilson here, reminding you to tune in this weekend for This is the 60s, featuring the best music from the best decade and so much more. There's 60s television, movies, news, pop culture, trivia, novelty songs, interviews, deep cuts, and a whole lot more. It's peace, love, and rock and roll on This is the 60s.
This is the 60s, Friday mornings from 10 a.m. till 12 noon on The Balls, WHS AM and FM in Shelby, WLON in Lincoln. Get a free pumpkin at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. What did I say? That's right. Get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st when you take a test drive at Renato Auto Mall. Test drive a Honda, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Kia, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a GMC, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Buick, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a pre-owned vehicle and get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st only at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at RenatoAutomall.com. And happy Halloween from Renato Auto Mall. When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services on WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. It's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincoln. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
And good morning. Welcome back to Saturday Sports Talk, brought to you by Campers Inn Kings Mountain out there off Highway 85 in Kings Mountain. We've got the NFL to talk about a little bit. We got a little NBA action. It's picked up. Hornets won last night, big time. We got had a little fun the other night. Let's ask a couple more trivia questions before I get into the NFL. See if Terry knows the rules of the game.
Yeah.
This is easy. This is real quick. Can a pitcher wear number 99?
I mean, I don't see why not.
I said easy. Yes or no, Terry?
I say yeah.
Yep,
I mean,
he can. All right, so
that's what
there
I'm
you
saying.
go.
I mean,
Some of them are easy.
that's just a number.
I stumped you on the first ones. All right, college basketball. Both teams failed to break their huddle on the sideline when the buzzer sounds, ending a timeout.
Okay.
What should the referee do?
I mean, they give them another warning most of the time. But if they
they already
if they
have.
do not, then
presuming they ain't listened to you, Terry.
Okay, then it's one shot technical.
Yeah,
on
it's
each
double.
side.
Yeah, it's double text. Yeah.
It says he should place the ball on the floor at the spot of the throw in and just start the 5-second count. It says both, even if it's both teams.
That. He can do that.
All right,
we do that.
Here's another golf one.
Even an optimist.
There's John again. John is an athlete. 120-yard shot lodges between the flag and the flag stick at the top of the flag stick.
So, wait. He got it stuck between the flag and the flag pole is what I'm hearing.
Got to play the
flag
ball from
and
where
the pole.
it's located.
It's stuck in the flag, basically.
Yeah.
What is the procedure to deal with this? This is a classic one.
I don't know.
A drop? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, how do you have a drop? Sometimes you got to play the ball from where it's at, but then sometimes they let you measure it out.
You got to play beer pong. That's the rule.
You know what I'm saying?
Gonna get the wrist loose. You got to say, Terry. I'll tell you what. The rule is not stand on the fringe and beer pong it.
Not yet. It's not anyway.
Just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
The rule is the ball should be placed on the lip of the hole, so you don't get credit for hitting the shot. It goes on the lip, and you can tap it in. But if you tap it in with the flag still in, it's a 2-stroke penalty.
Well,
just in
how
case you
come
knew that.
then they make you sometimes when they give you a club length away?
From what?
From sometimes a tree. It all depends on where you
I
playing.
don't know who you
golf
playing
at.
with giving you a club link somewhere,
Also,
Terry.
which club are we talking about? Are we talking driver? Are we talking
That's
9
what I'm
iron?
saying.
Now, when they do give you the club link drops, you pick any club you want. The longest is the driver's the longest club. So
I'll just
everybody picks
whip
it.
out-
They
whip out
will
like
not
a-
let you pull the ball retriever out and do that one. The
I do
15
not
to
care.
30
I want
footer.
mulligans on every hole.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you got to. At least one every night.
All right, with 4th down and 7 yards to go, John gains 5.
Okay.
And the whistle's dead. After which, defensive lineman is called for piling on. What is the ruling? This is college football.
It's after the play is dead,
It's
so
after the
he's
play,
going to
yeah.
get
It's the
additional yardage.
I'm gonna let Terry talk it out.
Whose ball is it?
Say it again.
That was 4th down.
Mhm.
4th down.
You only get 5 trying to get 7.
So that makes it 5th and 2. You have
After
no
the
5th and
play
2.
is blown dead, a defensive lineman is called a penalty for piling on. What is the ruling? Whose ball? John's offense or the defense's ball?
The ball is moved. It's defensive ball because even though the play happened, the play was dead,
It's
so it's
over.
moved back.
So the penalty is enforced on the
Yes,
new team
against
on
the
offense.
Y'all got that one right. Y'all struggle with some of the easy ones, but nailed that one.
Yeah, boy.
I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations. All right, rules of the game. We'll be doing some more fun of those for give you guys information, Terry.
I like
we
to
like to
watch it
inform
and
people,
see
don't
the
we?
thing happen.
You like to see Terry likes to see what happened before he makes the call.
Because we always
Terry's
have
a visual
people that,
learner.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, people will come up and they'll forget something in the middle of it, and they'll be like, well, if I'd have known that happened.
Well, nobody told you that part. Is that what you're saying, Terry?
Yes.
All right, a couple of
John
fun things.
plays
I
in all
had
kinds of
no wonder
sports.
I was feeling weird about that. All right, couple of fun things. I was picking on Will the other night, and everybody, and anytime I do this, me and Terry, we get called haters. Has any one of us ever said the word hate or dislike, don't like? All we've done is point out stats and statistics. I was talking to Carson a minute ago, and my point on this, a lot of this stuff is, it was the thing we talked about with Romo, but you can't talk about with Dennis in the room because he's going to laugh at you. It's all about the perception. Is that you'll see in the game, and we always bring it up, the 51-48 game, turn on ESPN, Romo throws a pick. That's the first highlight they throw. Not the 48 points he scored, not the defense giving up 51. So it's a lot about perception. So you look at Eli, and everybody's saying, well, he's playing awful. You look at Blake Bortles, he's awful. Ryan Fitzpatrick got benched for Jameis Winston after 3 games, and his jacket went to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, boy.
First time ever a quarterback threw. So think about the decisions. All these teams want to. We need to find a quarterback. We need to find a quarterback. And then when you get one, you just discard them because someone at the Twitter world, I guess, doesn't like who your quarterback is. Is that what we're doing now? I mean, the Blake Bortles, okay, yeah, he's not the best, but comparatively speaking, this is Cam's MVP season compared to Bortles. Same exact season. Bortles didn't have a number 1 defense then, Terry. Now all of a sudden he does, and his team's winning games. That's ironic, isn't it? So let's talk about that. Cam's MVP season, he had 3,800 yards. Blake Bortles had 4,400. Mm-hmm. That's 600 more yards than Cam. Blake Bortles, 4,400 passing yards. I bet you didn't know that. Completion percentage, Cam 59, Blake 58. Same thing. Touchdowns, Cam 35, Blake 35 touchdowns. Average per attempt, 7.8, 7.5. That year though, Cam did have better rating because Bortles had a few more interceptions at 94-88, and then Cam's QBR was better at 67-52 because of the rushing touchdowns, because you get extra points in the QBR for the touchdowns. So be careful. Well, you start to compare these things. How about here's some rankings, folks. Just to give you an idea. This year's completion percentage, yards per attempt. I use the 6 big categories for passers. Yards per game, because not everybody's played the same number of games. Touchdowns, interceptions, and ratings. Now listen to the numbers I'm going to say. Bortles, where he ranks, 30th, that's bad. 26th, bad. 23rd, bad. 21st, bad. 3rd, that's good. 29th, bad. Eli Manning, he's playing terrible is what everybody says, right? 8th in completion percentage, 12th in yards per attempt. Everybody says he's dink and dunk. He's 12th in yards per attempt. 13th in yards per game. Now he has 25th in touchdowns. Maybe his wide receivers need to do better scoring and getting open.
Maybe if
apparently
they weren't pounding their face against the giant fan.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the quarterback is 8th in completion percentage and 12th in yards per attempt, Terry. And well, then where's the touchdowns? Because yards per attempt, that's pretty. That's not saying you're dinking dunking.
Beckham quit complaining and go catch a ball.
Maybe.
Well, maybe if they had an offensive line that could stop a running faucet, but
I do want to say that, and I try to make that every time. They have the worst offensive line
easily.
I may have ever seen.
They picked Eric Flowers over Todd Gurley. That's all I'm gonna say.
You say thank you, Carson. That's
I
what
do.
you should say. That should be all you say. You need to
Thanks.
finish that up with thanks.
Thanks, David Gettleman.
Eli Manning rated 17th in passer rating. Mitch Trubisky's 14th. Cam is 15th. But Eli should retire. Well, should Trubisky and Cam retire too, Terry?
Let them play a few more years.
So here's the rankings for Trubisky: 15, 16, 19, 10, 10, and 14. Pretty average. None of them. You got a couple of tenths there. How about Cam's? 16, 30, 24, 16, 22nd, 15. All in the teens or worse. So be careful when you say one guy's really good and one guy's not. You might want to check your stats. Here's one for you fans of, you talk about the Bucs. Here's Fitzpatrick, who only played 4 games so far, where he still ranks.
Mm-hmm.
He's still 12th in completion percentage, 1st in yards per attempt, 1st in yards per game, 16th in touchdowns. Wait a minute, what did I just say? He's played 4 games. He's 16th in touchdowns.
Sat out, 3
Cam's
games?
16th in touchdowns. Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick, same number of touchdowns, less games. Eli's 22nd, Bortles 21st. Oh, Fitzpatrick, but let's bench him, Terry. How about Fitzpatrick's 13th in interceptions? That's better than Cam, better than Eli. How about Fitzpatrick in rating, quarterback rating? 3rd. They benched the 3rd rated quarterback in the NFL. Jameis in 2 games has 6 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Fitzpatrick in 4 games had 2. Let me repeat that. Jameis in 2 games, 6 picks. Fitzpatrick in 4 games, 2 picks.
But what do they remember? They remember the game against Pittsburgh when he gave up the interceptions and the scores.
So out of 4 games, this guy lost a terrible half.
Not even a full game.
Cam just had 3 terrible quarters and had 1 good half.
Yeah.
Now, and what I was picking on Will, he's like, how great it was, 21 points. So I said, well, NFL average is 24.
Yeah.
So the defense held the other team under 24,
Mm-hmm.
and the offense scored average. Romo all-time, Terry, just for your thoughts, 6th in yards per attempt, 6th in completion, 5th in rating. So, he's terrible in there. Great. All right, here's my rankings, guys. This is going to be fun. So this is the weirdest stat I thought I found, so I put them. And so this week, every week I get rid of a team saying, you're not winning the Super Bowl this year, bye-bye. We've got rid of Buffalo, Oakland, Arizona, San Francisco, Indianapolis, the Giants, and the Broncos. This week, I kick out the Jets. 3-4 overall. The Jets are 13th in offense, 17th in defense. I just don't think the rookie quarterback's going to get it done, not this year. I never pick a rookie to win the Super Bowl, so we're going to get further and further on down that line. We're going to point some of that out in just a second. So, Terry, here's my last 2 teams going into this week with the worst record so far. And one of them don't even have a bad record, but this is why I put them in there. I got Cleveland. They're on my chopping block. 2-4 overall. 23rd overall, 18th in defense. Now, remember what I just said, 23rd and 18th. Miami Dolphins are 23rd in offense, 18th in defense. The Miami and Cleveland have scored the exact same number of points and given up the exact same number of points on defense. One's coach is 2-4-1 because he's a dodo, and the other is 4-3 because he has Ryan Tannehill.
Well, if you had a kicker too,
kicker probably would have been. They'd at least be 3-3.
That changes. As I'm saying, that changes one game.
Yeah, so you can at least 3-3-1. I say Jackson cost them another one. They could be 4-2-1. They could be right there with Miami, and now they're both of these teams sitting here on the chopping blocks. Now I think some of these other teams are worse. But the situation, the way it comes out, math just don't work out that way. So right now I got Cleveland and Miami sitting there on the outside looking in, not too good. But Miami, they're probably going to stay anyway because I'm running out of NFC East teams.
Yeah.
I mean AFC East teams. Somebody's got to win more than 4 games over there.
Somebody's got to win the division.
So these teams I call offensively defensive, which means they can't play defense. Their defensive is offensive to me, is what I'm saying. Except
offensive.
The Bucks, Lions, and Falcons. They rank 32nd, 24th, and 30th in defense, but their offenses are 8th, 12th, and 8th. So not too good on defense. Then I got next up. We've got and I missed Tennessee, put them in the wrong category, but they're supposed to be in that one. These teams got some pretty decent defenses, and we always talk about defensive, Terry. So these teams are kind of in the ballpark of the same kind of defense. What are they going to do on offense? And a matter of fact, all of them are about one game out of the playoffs right now. Tennessee at 19, Jacksonville 18, Dallas 17, Philadelphia 16, Seattle 15, Chicago 14, and Baltimore is on the outside of the playoffs right now with the number one overall defense, 4-3 overall. Ravens, the games that they've lost, guys, have been all close games, so they've had some fun times. Okay, all right. So we got let's see, Cincinnati. So there's that guys outside looking in. So Ravens I've got them as the highest ranked team outside the playoffs now. Dallas right now, Terry, 26th in offense, second in defense. I would have loved to have this defense when Romo was around. Then we wouldn't be even talking about any of this stuff. We'd be talking about a top 4 team every year. But that's not the case. And then this week they add a wide receiver. And apparently this was not a for real one, but I guess it's I haven't got the exact if this is 100% true or not. But a guy that tweeted out, one of the reporters, that Amari Cooper, the Cowboys asked Amari Cooper for any cool plays that he learned in Oakland, Terry.
Any cool plays that he learned from a coach who brought in 8mm film.
The head coach of the Dallas Cowboys used to be an offensive coordinator, used to be a quarterback, and he asked the 24-year-old wide receiver, "Hey, you know any cool plays, guy? Hey, guy, dude." Kid, what does he say?
I don't
Romo's
care.
sitting there predicting every play on TV, and the offensive coordinator, the head coach, of the Dallas Cowboys, is out here asking a 24-year-old wide receiver from another team, "Hey, you got any cool plays?"
I do not blame any coach for wanting to get brighter, smarter, learning, even if it's from a young guy who has come from somewhere else. Because if you stop yourself from listening to stuff that he might have, then there's something you might lose that would benefit your team.
How did somebody that went to Princeton be so dumb?
Well, I'm just telling you.
You can't count on the clock.
You
there's
have
clock
to
that runs up
always
there.
have an open mind as a coach.
Jeez.
You can still get brighter and learn something new.
Jerry Jones, man. So essentially, with this trade, folks, now remember, he didn't want to give up a second for Earl Thomas, and he cut Des Bryant. So what you're looking at is
this guy's deeper down the field.
Jerry traded a first-round pick, Earl Thomas, and Des Bryant for Amari Cooper in a second-rounder. Jerry basically traded Earl Thomas, Des Bryant, and a first-round pick for Amari Cooper and a second-round pick, Terry. That's the deal he made this year.
I'm good.
Okay.
This guy,
he's good, Carson. How are y'all? What's y'all's record? How are y'all, Carson?
We're real good.
They're good.
We're real good.
They're okay.
I hadn't played Dallas yet.
Thank you.
You're not going to score all that.
They're not going to play Dallas this year.
Dallas wouldn't score any points, Terry. You realize that, right?
Yeah, how many points Cowboys going to get on the on the Rams?
Right. They
Terry?
might not get many neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's got some cool plays? Sean McVay's got some cool plays.
Yeah, why don't we ask Sean McVay? Speaking of his offense, Carson.
They'll not make it to the Super Bowl.
Now, that might be true because they got to go through my team this year. But the Rams are third in offense, fourth in defense, scoring 33.5 a game, giving up 18 a game. Overall, all the ratings and everything, they equal the best team as far as stats-wise. But I've got them ranked second behind the Patriots. Because of the Patriots in the playoffs, I think they're going to make – this is to make the Super Bowl, folks. This doesn't mean the best team. Be careful. You got semantics of my polls.
All I
here.
had to do is say Brady.
So the Patriots, I got they're the best chance to make the Super Bowl. I got Rams at 2. I got Kansas City at 3 and New Orleans at 4. Kansas City and New Orleans, exact same teams, first and second in offense, 27th, 22nd in defense, giving up 26 and 27 points a game. Defensively, Saints scoring 34, Chiefs scoring 37. Terry, there's a chance if the Panthers sneak in the playoffs and the Saints make the Super Bowl, let's say if you say that the Saints could beat the Panthers 6 times in 2 years. Is that there is a clear-cut chance that can happen. Nobody in the NFC is showing that strong right now. So looking through the other ones, who's not in my top 4? Those are my top 4 contenders: Rams, Patriots, and Chiefs and Saints. So those are my top 4. Guys, guess who snuck up after not being too good the first couple weeks? Chargers. Chargers at number 5 in my poll. They're 7th on offense. Kind of not surprising. defense has put it together, guys, are 12th. You put a 12th ranked defense with that offense, look out. They're now 5-2. They are a half a game out of first. Everybody's saying Kansas City's the first, so good. They're actually, if they beat them, they'll be in first.
Guys, can y'all say it here? And I'm Kansas City. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad they're
37 a game.
Well, that's what I don't care. Okay, does that transfer over when you make the playoffs? No, that's not going to transfer over. Yeah, you're doing well, but by then somebody's figured you out. But by the time you get to then,
here's the good news for Kansas City: the defenses that they'll be going against in the playoffs might not be that great right now. Pittsburgh's 21st. Houston's giving up 20. Chargers giving up 20. Everybody's giving up 20 to 27 points in there. None of those are top 5 defense in the AFC. So they may have a chance to just run through anybody until the Belichick game.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden you're matched up with Mahomes against Brady. How many people are going to take Mahomes? Not many.
Not a lot.
They're going to take Brady in a game that means something.
And we'll be sitting here for the 9th time watching Patriots and someone. Carson just hopes it's the Rams. I've got the Saints going to do it. I think Brady's going to get him one before he gets out of here, before he ends his career. I don't think this is the best chance for him to do it. Actually, I think last year kind of was. But here's the good news for him already. The defense has not been good this year. It was pretty decent last year. I think the addition of Mark Ingram coming back and helping with the running game, they can run some clock off, is going to help the defense. It's not going to make them that much better. But if that can keep their defense, right now they're giving up 27 a game. If they can get that down to the average number of 24 a game, just that 3 points is going to make a big difference in the road games more than anything. And they may have to go on the road to the Rams. So I think Mark Ingram is the key for them in getting turnovers. So the rest of the top 12, I got. Well, where's everybody else? I got Steelers at 6, Texans at 7, Green Bay at 8, Vikings 9, Washington 10, Panthers 11, and Bengals at 12. Terry, Redskins, Cowboys this past week. Hunter said he was going to come in here and sing to you this morning, and he just couldn't make it. So you want to sing for him?
No, I give him a lot of credit. I mean, when the ref moves the ball back, that just irritates me every time I think about that, because if you watch any snapper in the NFL, they moved the ball.
That snapper did everything but deflate the ball, Terry, while he was out there moving it around. Golly, how's the defense supposed to know when to block that kick?
First thing when they come down, when do you go to JD and say, hey, buddy, how about you? Man, you have made the mic. Well, okay, so he moved the ball, and he'll tell you, I move it every time. So you should get me every time.
Terry's right, and I do got a question about that, because they said that the Redskins notified the referees of that. So here's the question. When were they notified? Because if they were notified before the game, they should have called that in the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly.
If they weren't notified until right then, that means the Redskins are sitting there waiting on that right there, and they waited to the last second, the last game, the last kick for the Redskins to say something.
You are taught a million times, you watch the ball, and when you see him let go, that's when you go. You want a good
Terry,
time,
though, you're also taught on defense, though, and if you do it right, is to watch out of the corner of your eye so you can fire off the ball. And if you're over there and you're in a 4-point stance leaning on your haunches, and this jackwagon's over here moving the ball around.
They've never jumped before until then, and they did that. I mean, you say that.
Hey, guess what, Terry? If you'd won by 10, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Well, you're right. I agree. But now, another thing, and I will give Hunter a lot of credit if he's listening. Hey, great game. That's how Dallas and Washington should be.
Yeah.
It should be a game that comes down to the end, and it comes down on defense. That's what I like. Both defenses played well. Elliott could do nothing. People say Peterson did well. Yeah, Peterson had a good game. I mean, I give him a lot of credit for what he did. But Dallas's defense played well.
Mm-hmm.
So they had the opportunity.
So will Cooper help Dallas?
Cooper will help him. If Gallup can get open like he did at one, you cannot say Prescott can't throw it deep, because he did.
If Amari Cooper is a little bit of what he was his first 2 years, you got a good. I mean, I don't think I would have given up a first-round pick for him by any means. But you got a good pickup.
Who got the best deal out of this? I don't care who you are. They say Gruden's bad. He's got 3 first-round picks next year and 2 the next, and he's not done.
You've got 10 years on this deal, and you're moving to Las Vegas.
That's what I don't get. Like, why is everybody – what's such the vitriol and hatred towards him? He got a 10-year deal. You have to clean house.
That's exactly
Well,
what
the
he's
next,
doing.
the,
Look
the
what
next,
he's doing.
the
He's
next
got
thing,
first round picks
the next
out
thing
of
they're
it.
talking about is trading Derek Carr.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a guy who a couple years ago you thought that was going to be like that next class of franchise quarterback.
But you got to understand, as a Carson, if someone gives you a 10-year deal,
Oh no, yeah.
do you say I want to ride with this guy or not? And the thing about it is, everybody's like, "Where's Eli? Why don't the Giants get a quarterback?" Well, guess what? Next year, what? This is my favorite part of the show. Y'all could interrupt me during the first part or something during college football. Tim can wait. Well, we got to do our picks. All right, Eagles at Jaguars.
Eagles.
I want to take the Jaguars.
I can't do it.
I'm having a hard time doing it too because of how they
do it.
playing.
But you know this will be the game they beat
That's
the Eagles
what I'm
by
saying.
25 or
Come
something.
on, Ramsey,
Come out
show
for
me
nothing.
something.
Jets at Bears.
Bears.
I've got Bears. Buccaneers at Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah, I go Bengals. Yeah.
Seahawks at Lions.
Ooh.
So that's good. That one's gonna be gross.
I must say they're playing inside so Lions win.
Yeah, Golden Tate wants to go off against the Seahawks.
I got Lions as well. Broncos at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I'd say
Chiefs.
it's too much Chiefs here.
Skins at Giants.
Redskins.
Giants pulling upset. That's my heart.
Browns at Steelers.
Steelers.
The Steelers.
Ravens at Panthers.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Baltimore wins.
Hey, I think Baltimore wins, but it's not by a lot.
Colts at Raiders.
Ooh, that one's also going to be.
That's
I got
ugly.
Baltimore winning the Panthers game too.
Yeah, that's ugly. I'm gonna go Raiders. I mean, I don't know why, but
I'm gonna go Colts.
Colts are
I
not
got
good
Raiders.
neither.
I got Raiders. Packers at Rams.
Rams.
Attaboy, Terry. I don't think Packers can stop them. 49ers at Cardinals. The game in hell today.
Oh, God, another.
I'm
That's
going
49ers.
49ers.
Beathard's not been terrible.
Saints at Vikings. Rematch of the playoffs.
Vikings.
Saints.
Do the Saints defenders keep their eyes open today?
Well, I don't know.
Defense?
You know, you say that, and then you think Buffalo went up there and trounced them.
I got Saints.
It's two indoor. I mean, the Saints are playing indoors.
That's true.
They're indoors. I'm picking the
That's
Saints.
true.
All right, we got to take a break. I got to run down the hall and make a couple adjustments, talk to some folks, and we'll be back. Talk some. We got to go up. NASCAR's playoffs are on, and NBA's on,
That's it.
and we'll be back in just a second. JP, ready for a break? I got to go down the hall. I'll be right back. KDCBroadcasting.com.
It's the Lincoln County Apple Festival this Saturday, October 27th in downtown Lincoln. It runs from 9 till 4. Come join the thousands and help celebrate. And tune to The Boss, 107.5 FM and 1050 AM WLON for live radio reports with Tim Johnson and Ken Ling. Our reports are being brought to you by Lincoln Landscape on Fairlane Lane in Lincoln, the Carolina Federal Credit Union on East Church Street in Cherryville, by Ronaldo Buick GMC on East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby, by Treasures on Main on East Main Street, Lincoln, by Napa Auto Parts on North Generals Boulevard, Lincoln, by No Block Jewelers in downtown Lincoln, by Seventh Moon Boutique on East Main Street in Lincoln, by Mitchum's Kitchen on Highway 27 West in Dale, by Peak Resources on the Dallas-Cherryville Highway in Dallas, by Wesley Automotive on Highway 150 in Maiden, and by Norman's Cafe on Highway 10 in Vail. So plan now to be there. This year's Lincoln County Apple Festival, Saturday, October 27th, 9 till 4 in downtown Lincoln.
Country Gold with Terry Clark.
I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Go with Terry Clark, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at kdcbroadcasting.com. Get a free pumpkin at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. What did I say? That's right. Get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st when you take a test drive at Renato Auto Mall. Test drive a Honda, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Kia, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a GMC, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a Buick, get a free pumpkin. Test drive a pre-owned vehicle and get a free pumpkin October 22nd through October 31st only at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at RenatoAutomall.com. And happy Halloween from Renato Auto Mall.
The moment
is in the air, and here we go.
You can hear replays of it tonight or tomorrow morning.
Angles to the right at the 15.
You can relive it in your mind over and over.
20 a stiff arm there.
The moment can last a lifetime.
Far sideline, he's into pit territory.
But the moment really only happens once.
25-20 takes it to the house.
Live in the moment right here on the Tar Heels Sports Network. Powered by Learfield.
Serving families in Cleveland and surrounding counties. That's Robert Morgan Funeral and Cremation Service, LLC of Bowling Springs. Robert Morgan Funeral and Cremation Service, LLC offers traditional funeral services, cremation services, memorial services, and graveside services. They also offer whole body donation services to several medical schools and research facilities at little or no cost to the family. Call 704-300-2343 or 704-538-8080. And ask about these services and more, including pre-planned, prepaid services. Robert Morgan Funeral and Cremation Services, LLC, 132 East College Avenue in Bowling Springs. Online at rsmorganfsl.com. Bill Shuford Heating and Air and American Standard presents the American Standard Set the Standard event. Now through November 30th, get up to $1,000 in discounts on qualifying American Standard equipment. Or get 0% APR financing with 60 equal monthly payments. Plus many more special Set the Standard event offers. See Bill Shuford Heating and Air for all the details. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Call 704-484-0025. Carolina.
All right, welcome back. Campers In Saturday Sports Talk. Kevin Hayes along with Carson Dockery, Terry Reinhardt. We're finishing up here today. Listen to us over in Lincoln County and here in Cherryville area, and watching us online on YouTube. We've got a little bit of things to go over here. NBA just started up. The Lakers finally won a couple games for LeBron. Terry, how's your Celtics doing?
They're okay. I mean, we're still trying to get two guys who didn't play last year back into our lineup, and for them to play together, plus a rotation, and that takes a little bit of time.
Well, today we're going to go to the schedule just a few minutes. Next week's football schedule as well. We're going to be sending out to Lincoln in here in just a little bit. I've got to. We got to go out there and send them out some equipment and get them going out there. At the Apple Festival today, Terry. A little colder than a normal Apple Festival, isn't it? So a little bit different than it's normally hot.
I like it. I mean, I think it. I'm not telling y'all to change Lincoln County, but hey, this time of year, or maybe a little bit earlier in October, to me, that's when it falls around. That's apples and everything else.
I was going to say, I don't know that the season on the apples does that affect that at all. Are you not an apple expert?
No, I'm not. So I'm not going to say it. Because when you
Terry
start
Appleseed
stuff
over
like
here don't
that,
have a clue.
Yeah, because there's like, if you think apples, when they lay them out, I mean, there's what, 40 or 50 different kinds of apples that you can get.
Easy.
So
yeah, they could make a Forrest Gump movie out of apples.
They could.
I prefer Fuji's personally, but that's just me.
On apple fajitas. Apple.
But again, Tim Johnson and Ken Links out there all day today. So
they're going to be out there on the square. They're actually hosting the main stage today, and so they'll be broadcasting on WLON out that over the main stage. All the performers today will be out there. Tim Ken will be hosting that. Have a good time out there, folks. Get you some apples, candy, food. The food out there will be good. We usually do our show out there during that. It's too cold for us though. Terry tells you everybody else to move out there and then and all that, but he's sitting here in the studio, Carson, nice and toasty in his NC State sweater.
Nobody told me to go out there. I would have been right there.
No, I wouldn't. It was too cold for me. And everybody's like, and I saw Norm McDonald the other day that answered kind of this question too. Everyone's like, "Well, you grew up in the you went to App, in the cold," and he was from Canada, and people tell him he's from the cold. He's like, "Yeah, but I'm still a human being." I mean,
I still feel.
My response usually is, "Well, after a few years at App, they give you this piece of paper. It said everything you did here, you learned you could take it with you. So I never have to go back there, and I wish never to be cold again like that. If you don't have to, Raptors, Bucks, and Pelicans are undefeated on the season right now. Raptors 6-0, guys. You got to think about their team. They've been with a 1 or 2 seed every year the past few years with DeRozan. They switched DeRozan out, added Kawhi. Oh, and don't forget about Danny Green. This is a heist.
Yeah.
Of epic proportions. If they can keep Kawhi in Toronto, Terry, it might not be easy sledding for the Celtics.
I'm gonna tell you, Toronto's pretty good when you start looking at depth chart and who they've got.
They got some good big men too, don't they?
They do. They're not a bad team.
They're 6-0, averaging 117 a game basically. Bucks averaging 121.
The thing that surprised me is Detroit.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me who all they got. I mean, they 4-0. That's
they've
a good
still
start.
got Blake Griffin. They've got Andre Drummond.
It's Blake Griffin. I think he's second or third. I'm gonna pull up and set.
He had a 50-point game the other night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Griffin's playing well. He's got he's had his dunk blocked the past couple weeks by a
no
rookie.
wonder
Jared Allen.
Good.
Jared Allen,
just for him, but he is still not an MVP candidate.
No.
Tristan Thompson said the Cavs were the defending champion and contenders. Carson, they're 0-5 right now.
They might win 25 games.
25. That's a lot.
What a fall off.
Might.
What a fall off.
Hornets before last night's game, were about in 15th place. Everyone else in the East lost but them. They jumped up into the 6th spot.
Had a good game last night. Another 30-point game for Kemba.
If you look at what the Hornets did last night, what helped was there was like 7 people in double figures and not just Kemba and whoever else. So it helps a lot.
The Lakers won again.
The Lakers won again. Dad burn it. They're still out of the playoffs right now, Terry.
But they've
They're
won
2 and 3.
in a row.
That's it's not a streak yet. But
the Hornets did win last night at Carson. That's the good news. The bad news is they beat the team that hadn't won a game except beating them.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know why they can't solve the Bulls. I don't know what the problem is.
Chicago.
They struggle with the Bulls.
They do,
whether it's home or away or where.
Yeah.
But Bucks undefeated. Oh, I skipped the Pistons as being undefeated, didn't I? Y'all mentioned them. They're 4-0. The only undefeated team out west, like I said, was the Pelicans. And so then Golden State's 5-1, Denver 4-1, Portland 3-1 on that. I did see it was a Damian Lillard stat the other day, all-time scoring list that he's higher up there than a lot of people think and doesn't get enough credit for.
You know, and every time I look at this now, I laugh because Houston jumped out here and got rid of Ariza and brings in old Carmelo Anthony that plays no defense, and now they want Butler. We're going to give up the whole house to go get
4 first-round picks.
Come on, Houston. Man. What are you doing? You messed up.
I'll say this. 4 first-round picks sounds terribly awful deal. But how is 6 first-round top 12 picks done for Charlotte in the past 10 years?
I mean,
if Houston's picking in the draft, they expect to be picking in the 20s on this.
Yeah.
Hitting on one of those is about like 10%. It's not. It's so bad hitting on a 20-plus draft pick in the NBA.
Unless you're the Spurs.
Unless you and what they did and what the Spurs were smart about is, and they're like, why do they always have the European players? Well, they get scouted
ready.
less, and they're ready too. And I think the scouting thing is, and they all fall down because of it. Like, well, we don't know this much about this guy, or and then
they don't know the competition.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So looking at the leading scorers, you were talking about Blake Griffin is leading league in scoring, Steph Curry second, Damian Lillard third, Kemba's fourth right now. Zach LaVine of Chicago is 5th in the NBA in scoring. Who had that?
I mean, who else is on that team that can score?
Durant 6th, Embiid 7th, Harden 8th, Booker 9th, and Anthony Davis 10th. Booker can fill it up, guys. If you get a chance to watch him play, just watch the Suns. He can shoot the lights out. I did want to mention something. I don't really want to get into it too hard, but the Kemba's assists just drive me nuts sometimes. How he if he'd get a few more, and last night he had 7, they win by 30. Mm-hmm. Tony Parker had 8 assists. I think Tony Parker might be getting more assists than Kemba at this point right now. Half the minutes.
That's he's a lot more differential than Kemba. Well, Kemba he's got to score. I mean, late in the game they were both on the court at the same time. Kemba's able to work off ball. Tony Parker's able to make good passes, and that's
Kemba's got to do the same thing. Kemba's got to do the same thing that Westbrook has always had a problem figured out, and shooting point guards will always have the problem figuring out is when to shoot and when to pass. So you've got to be able to trust your big men that when they do get to their spot and hustle their spot, Terry, you have to feed them. Or
yes.
Well, that's why
Kemba and Russell don't do that.
That's why the Hornets win-loss record is so different with and without Cody Zeller, because when he breaks for the basket, he breaks hard.
He's a great cutter.
My whole deal in behind it is I think this is learning experience for Kemba Kimba also. When you bring in Tony Parker, that's
huge.
been there and done
I
it.
said that. I always thought he should model his game just after Tony. Neither one of them are dunkers and athletes like that to where they can score from below the rim. And I always thought Parker was one of the best at scoring below the rim in the NBA. You know, when he would get down there in the paint, all those back cuts, Duncan and Robinson would hit him on down there, and he just filled the lane. I always thought Kimba would be very dangerous that way. Instead of trying to dribble around 6 people, think about how fast Kimba is. Have him cutting the ball. You know, man, have him cutting the lane and that stuff. I think he could get a lot of sneak things. And you're right. So what I did want to point out on his assist, for example, so Kimba's 25th in the NBA in assist, 5.7. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan's the all-time leading scorer, averages 5.3. So, you know, one's a point guard, one's the all-time leading scorer. Kevin Durant is 4th all-time leading scorer. He's averages 5.8 more than Kimba this year. LeBron's 3rd all-time leading scorer. He gets 9 assists a game. So if LeBron can do it, Kimba can do it. And Kyle Lowry's the only player over 10 right now in assists. LeBron at 9. Ben Simmons at 8.5. A couple other players. You've got Draymond Green. He better average 7 assists a game, by God, because if you got all that on there.
Yeah, you just got to sneeze and you'll get an assist.
Right. So just Giannis averaging 6.5. But here's one I just want to point out is the fun one, guys. The best point guard in the NBA right now. J.J. Barea. Terry, and let me read you Kimba. In 33 minutes a game, Kimba gets 5.5 assists. In 19 minutes a game, Barea gets 7.5 assists a game.
Oh, he's just throwing it up to DeAndre Jordan.
14.5 minutes lower, and he gets that. Look how many assists he gets per 48 minutes. J.J. Barea per 48 minutes. If he played every minute in the game, 18.7 assists. That's just incredible. Tony Parker, 4th. Assists per minute. Yeah. Parker averaging 13 assists per 48 minutes, 3.7 assist turnover. Where's Kimba on that? I think I remember looking at that. I think he was in the 70s on the assists per 48 minutes on that.
All I did was say Draymond Green averaging 6.8.
Yeah, well, he should, Terry. He's passing it to everybody. So Kimba's rates 42nd, tied with Kyrie on the assist. So they're pretty much kind of the same game, right?
It's similar.
Well, Kimba uses quickness more than Kyrie more slickness.
Yeah.
How you like that? All right. Real quick, guys, we got to go. We'll see you guys next week, Friday night, on the pregame show, Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Terry and Carson will have that. Big week next week. We've got, like I said, the worst game of the week next week is Kings Mountain and Crest. So that just tells you everything you need to know. Battle for second. Meanwhile, Cherryville and Bessemer City will be battling for the belt. They get a belt in that a championship WWE belt, folks. I'm serious. And then we've got Burns at North Gaston looking for a playoff spot. We've got Shelby at South Point undefeated for first place, and Bandy's at North Lincoln undefeated for first place. JP, what we got on the schedule today? We got college football and NASCAR, don't we?
Yeah. Today at 12:30 we have the Texas Roadhouse 200. At 11 o'clock we got Clemson at Florida State, and at 5 o'clock North Carolina and Virginia. Tomorrow at 1:30 we have the first day to 500. The Baltimore Ravens at Carolina at 12 noon, and New Orleans and Minnesota at 7:30.
All right, guys. I guess we'll be seeing you next week. Tomorrow, you did read tomorrow's? I'm sorry, I was looking at the other schedule going over these texts. Panthers tomorrow, the Baltimore Ravens. Listen on KTC. Next week we'll have high school football. Last week of the season, we've got Charlotte Hornets basketball, Tar Heel football, Clemson football. We got Duke, North Carolina basketball, Clemson basketball. We didn't even talk about that. Top 25 came out as well this week.
Sure did.
Early to discuss that and more. So, all right, JP, sports folks are picking up big time next week. We're going to have to keep our segments like 3 minutes of sport next week. Golly. All right, JP, we'll see you guys next week on ktcbroadcasting.com.
Who says it's quitting time? I said it's quitting time. I was the foreman. I was the one says when it's quitting time at Terra. Quitting time! Quitting time!
Carolina Country, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
We could see Mr. Drizzle in spots early today. Otherwise, we'll see a mixture of clouds and sun.